Can you hear
Oh,
me
I've
now?
got you now. I've got you. Hi.
Winning.
How are you, man?
Good.
You're looking a bit shell-shocked. You all right?
Yeah. Been out in the sun.
Have you been drinking all day, Shaun?
Oh, no. Never.
Well, let's change that, shall we?
That was a massive lie.
Good work. Good work. Mate, do you want to have a chat first, or are you okay just cracking straight on?
Yeah, we'll fire in. I'm good.
Just crack on. Happy days. Right then, folks, welcome back. He's here again. Shaun, Likeable Rider. It's insert applause. How's it going, bud?
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, not so good actually. I've been at home for a week. I caught the Rona.
Yeah, you got it, didn't you?
Yeah. I Friday of last week I got that. So I was rough for 2-3 days, but after that it's been all right. So I got a week forced home prison sentence.
Oh no! Is that the first time you've got COVID then?
Yeah, me. Yeah, the family have had it before, but I never got it when the last time they all got it. So I dipped out. Whoops.
Sorry, my dog's just stuck her head in through the door there. Apologies. I'm home alone with the pooch at the moment. The wife's on her way home from work.
Right.
Yeah, I was the same. Managed the full 2 years without getting anything, and then start of this year got it. I think most people got it at the start of this year, didn't they? This new thing is
it seems to be
cold.
Seems to be kicking off a fair amount. So
but it doesn't exist anymore, mate. We're done. We're done now. We've moved on.
Absolutely.
You saw last year, Shaun. Get over it.
Yeah, it's all about Russia.
How are you feeling now? Are you okay?
Yeah. As I said, I had 2 days where I was baggage, but I've had what now? 3 days where I've been all right. So I got off. I don't think I can get out of the house until Friday. I can test on Friday. If I'm negative, then I'll have back out.
Then you're out. Okay. Well, that's enough sympathy. Let's get a beer open. Yeah. What's your tipple of choice for this evening?
I've got a Weizen beer on the draft.
You've got an actual draft machine in your man shed.
Might be a bit long.
I need to up my game, don't I?
Oh, definitely.
I have a bottle of Peroni. Gone posh. What's that? You were never a barman, were you?
That's a fairly reasonable head for German beer.
That is a German way of pouring beer, isn't it? Just get it in there, right? Well, I'm cracking off slangs. Do you help?
Yeah, do. I've got to wait a couple of minutes.
All right. So what's been going on with then? Apart from obviously getting the plague recently, how's things been over there? You've been out. Well, there's loads to say, isn't there? You've changed bikes.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I haven't been out. I haven't been able to get out as much. I mean, I had a week off 3 weeks ago. Didn't really get to go out too much because the weather was rubbish, but. Yeah, the weather's just starting to come in now, so the season's just sort of starting. So from now, it's sort of it's kicking off. So Sundays, I've got a ride out on Sunday. Next weekend, I'm off all weekend down to Thüringen. So it's all kind of sort of starting from now, really.
Mega.
Yeah.
What's planned for the year ahead then? You got any big trips?
Yeah. Well, I was hoping to get off. Well, my leave's in for July, 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to go for 10 days somewhere. Now, it was the plan. Well, it was the plan the last 2 years over COVID to go back to UK, but I'm probably not going to now. That'd be a tour for other people more than myself, if you know what I mean. And now that I don't know, do you have the same? Do you feel that everybody's on their arse at the moment? The last sort of arse end of Corona, everybody's sort of. It is very much so here. Everybody's properly unhappy, and people are depressed, and we've got enough.
I felt that at the start of the year. Like just me myself, to be honest. I just felt really hacked off with it all. For the first couple of months of this year, I was just had enough. Really, I was just bored with everything. And but
I've got through it pretty. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. I
got it through it pretty unscathed, but now I'm finding it myself. I'm properly threaders with everything. And so tour for July. I'm probably gonna just do something for myself, and I don't know. I fancy going down to the Alps, maybe Slovenia, Croatia, and sort of do a massive bigger sort of trip. Just on me Jack and Jones, to get to know myself again.
You forget, don't you? Doing like woe is us. You can't really, it's first world problems, isn't it? But you do forget, because like I'm sure you've got a full-time job. So, and I'm like this, even though this is now my job, most of my time spent editing. And when I'm out on the bike, I have to film. So it's not that I have to film. I need to film to create content. Slash to your drink, yeah. Yeah, I need to film to create content. So you never really get to ride just for you. You're always filming and doing the logistics with batteries and cameras, and then there's the edit and the promotions and social media. Okay, we chose this life, but
absolutely,
it is really good when you just go out with no camoras,
and just have a ride,
Yeah, I went out with Fish, official Mr. Fish, and my mate Martin's a chap with one leg that's been on the podcast before, and the three of us went out, no cameras, and just went out. Couple of boys on the bikes, and what a brilliant day it was. And that for me, I think probably turned it, because I was in a right hacked off mood up until then, and then it was like, okay, right, I'm back, let's get back to it.
I definitely need it. I mean, I've been on a couple of rides and some weekenders where I didn't bother filming at all, but obviously on my sort of Euro tour that I'm calling it for July, everything will be filmed, but I'll be on me Todd, and it'll be somewhere that I want to go, rather than, although I do want to come to UK and meet up with everybody like I've been trying to for the last couple of years. That will happen, but that'll be something that's for other people, and to meet friends and family. Obviously, when I come to the UK, I'm expected to travel from north to south of UK and visit every family member and everybody I know. But
I don't mean to be rude interrupting, but my dog has just stuck her head in here and I can hear her chewing something. So I just want to make sure she's not chewing a GoPro.
I was hoping she took a dump in the corner or something.
Sorry, I've got my camera bag that I put in the back box, the top box, right behind me on the floor, and it's open, and I could just, that plastic when they're eating something plastic.
Yeah,
like, don't be eating a camera, whatever you do. But she was eating the cat's toy outside my door.
Oh dear!
I know
the feeling.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got two Labradors, and we've just had one. How old is he now? 9 months. We got him from 2 months old, and he's the same. He's chewed 5 Sky remotes and all kinds of disaster. It's been more of a nightmare than the first one, but I know where you're coming from.
I love her to bits, and I would never not have her. But you need eyes everywhere. It's like having a toddler around with sharp teeth.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yes, it's worse than bringing up a dog. Honestly, but to go back to what I was saying, I think. I need to do a tour for myself this year, and then I'll look into something to come back to the UK another time. But I think for July I'll be heading sort of Alps direction, Italy and Croatia, sort of Slovenia possibly, and we'll go from there.
It's lovely down that neck of the woods. I've done a couple of bids, Slovenia and Croatia, and beautiful, really is.
Most of the places I've been to sort of west. I mean, I've done a lot of Austria, Switzerland, France, and Italy and whatnot, but not so far east. So I'd like to do a bit of east, and as I said, maybe a bit of Slovenia, Croatia, and see how far we get.
Nice. I've got a big road trip coming up in May. I was believe it or not, I was supposed to be riding up to Ukraine. I was supposed to be doing a visit to Chernobyl from Slovenia up to Chernobyl, but obviously that isn't happening anymore. So that's instead, not cool. No. So instead, we're riding to Bucharest in Romania, and then like we're doing Transalpina and some other roads around Romania, and then heading up into Hungary to Budapest, and then I'll leave the lads that I'm going with. They're going to head from Budapest back down to Slovenia, and I'm carrying on back. I need to be in the Netherlands to do something early June, and then back into the UK and up to Liverpool for the Isle of Man. I'm going across the Isle of Man for the
I remember you saying that's mega.
So I'm looking forward to that. Busy sort of 3-4 weeks. Can't wait.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's starting to get busy now, which is good.
Yeah. The season is starting. It's all starting. It's all up here for me.
Absolutely. Dude, shall we crack on with some questions? Because there's loads of questions. Obviously. You're a popular guy. Right. Well, first of all, we'll head to the clan over on Patreon, folks. So that's patreon.com/TeapotOne. First one, Mark Kent. Now that Shaun's got an XR, isn't it about time he zipped his man suit up and got a GS?
Oh dear. I say. Well, I think I mentioned it on the last time. I did take the GS out, the new one, before I took the half an hour before I took the XR out.
XR.
Yeah, well, like I said, I get it. I get what the hype's about, but it's still not for me. So no GS for me for a good few years, I'm sure.
Yeah. How you getting on with the XR?
Yeah,
Still
lovely.
loving it.
Although I had to have a new rear shock. I mean, I've only done about 1,200 Ks on it. And
what is it with you and bikes, man?
Yeah, but it's a strange one. I mean, the shock wasn't broke, but the bike thought it was. And they couldn't delete the fault. So emails to and from me. I mean, the bike was in the workshop for a week or so, to and from in emails with BMW to try this, do that, test this, test that. Nothing works. They couldn't delete the fault, but it wasn't faulty. The shock was still working. It was still fully functional.
Just the software wouldn't.
Yeah. So they so then the BMW said, okay, we've tried everything. Bung that man a new shock in it. So yeah, I got a new shock.
Happy days.
But yeah, BMW customer service.
He's back. He's back on that BMW team.
Yeah.
Welcome home. Welcome. Next one, Brian Longimanis. Hi, Shaun, Bruce, and all. Hope all's well with you and your kin. My question: would you rather a horse the size of a cat or a cat the size of a mouse? Oh, what? A horse the size of a cat or a cat the size of a mouse? Ooh.
Not sure how to process that one.
No, me either. You're either going to have a tiny itty wee cat or a tiny little horse.
Are we talking about cocks?
So I consider myself a man of the world and, fairly open sense of humour. That never entered my cranium. Wow. No, Shaun, not cocks.
Yeah. I'm not.
Do you want
sure
a cat-sized horse or a mouse-sized cat? What one do you want?
Oh, a mouse-sized cat, probably. I'm not into cats, so the smaller the better. There you go.
That'd be horrible. A little tiny mouse-sized cat. It would just be meowing this high-pitched, horrible.
And hopefully some other cat would eat it, and then you'd be sorted.
Big horse would come. This tiny little horse would come along and eat it.
Yeah.
Question 2 is to Shaun. If you were to live in any other European country, where and why? That is a good question.
Very good, yes. But yeah, it would have to be somewhere in the Alps, probably in the Italian Alps, probably on that side of the river. Yeah, I mean, Alps is the Alps just because you've got the Alps on tap. For me, I think, summer riding bikes in summer, skiing in winter.
Yeah.
Friendly people, and just in general, just a lovely place to be. I think that would
it's beautiful.
That would be somewhere for me. That would be paradise.
I've still got to. I did a trip to Switzerland and the Dolomites last September, and I've still got to edit the series. I'm so sorry, folks, but I've still got to edit that series. It's a huge amount of work, and I just can't get around to it at the moment. But I thought I'd ridden the Dolomites previously. I thought I'd ridden that like 10 years ago. I'd done the Dolomites, and it was all right, but the roads were a bit bumpy, and I was like, there's plenty better places. No, I was in totally the wrong part. It wasn't the Dolomites, because we went to the Dolomites on this trip, and I was just like, wow, this is fucking beautiful.
Just from the rock formations, you can tell that you're there.
Oh, it was stunning. Yeah, I did think when I thought I was in the Dolomites, I was like, it's all right, but it's not rubbish. It's not these magical rock formations that everybody talk about.
Yeah.
It's okay. No, I wasn't. I probably wasn't even in northern Italy, knowing me.
Whoops.
Probably wasn't even in Italy, but never mind. Next one, Dale Hawks. Hi, Shaun. Hope you and the family are well. My question: are you and Andy Mancam doing any trips together? They seem to be a great time. Yeah, you got anything planned with Andy?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted to for a while, but Andy's had some health issues and job issues, time off issues. So it's just not been feasible for us to sort of plan anything where he can get away to do it. You know, the time he does get off, whether he's spending it with his missus or doing his own thing, it's just a bit more difficult. But I think he's pretty much out of the woods now. I think he's had another op in the last few weeks.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. He got the cardo planted inside his head. Did you see that?
Yeah, he had his ear removed for the God knows umpteenth time. But yeah, so he's not able to ride at the moment. He can't even squeeze his melon into a helmet at the moment without ripping his lug hole off. Yeah. So I'd imagine so. I mean, we chat, every so often. So I'd imagine as soon as he gets a bit of time where we can both bugger off somewhere, then we will do, because we enjoy each other's company. So it's always a good crack.
Yeah, it's always good content with you two. Yeah, you feed off each other really well.
Yeah.
Did you see Andy's vid on the Insta? On the new Insta one?
On the RS, yeah. Yes.
Oh man, awesome. What a great piece of work. It's a fantastic video.
Yeah, Andy's a genius.
Yeah, it was. I like Andy's stuff, but that was just a different level. That was really, really good. If you've not seen it, folks, have a look for Andy Mancam's. Sorry, Shaun, I'm pissing on your chips here. Have a look for Andy Mancam's vid review of the Insta360 1RS camera. Shit hot, really is good. Well worth having a look at.
Definitely. Well, the bar has been set, because I've got that camera coming as well too.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I think I've put Insta's nose out of joint, because they sent me a 1X2, and I include footage in it, but I haven't done like a full dedicated vid of it, because
I love them. I love them. I mean, I had the Go 2 as well a few months ago. I saw that. Yeah. So now the 1RS is coming. So yeah, if it's a feasible GoPro replacement for helmet cam, then I'll probably look into that. So I enjoy using them, and it's quite obviously not everybody likes it, but for editing and producing a vid, it's a bit more creative, I think, from the angles and whatnot that you can film in. So I enjoy using them. So hopefully that's a good camera. So we'll see. Hopefully when that wraps up.
I find it's the 1X2 is the most reliable modern action camera I've ever used. Although having said that, I've got these now. Have you seen these? The GoPro Enduro batteries.
Is that the sort of winter-proofed battery, right?
Honestly, mate, I haven't touch wood. I don't have issues with GoPro anymore since moving to them.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've got the Hero 9, I've got the Hero 10. I have no problem with either camera now that I use those batteries.
Okay. Strange.
I put the blue ones in, the standard batteries in, and I get issues. I use those batteries, no issues at all.
Strange. I mean, with the Hero 9, it's a camera that I hardly have any. I don't think I've ever had any issues with that camera.
Really?
But I run that as a sort of a rear camera off the bike's power, although it's got a battery in it. That's probably possibly the only GoPro that I've had that hasn't shit its pants every ride out. And the 7 on my helmet, that's pretty reliable. But I'd just like to change something out if I can. And if the 1S is a 1RS, from Insta, that's a feasible helmet camera, then I'm happy to give that a go as well. So.
Yeah, nice one. Like you said, the 360 footage is brilliant with the creativity it allows, because you get so many different shots from the one position, don't you? It's great.
If you've got time, because obviously it is very time consuming. It's not always feasible to put it in every one of your videos, but I'm finding that I want to include it in everything. It is time consuming, but I think it's worth it. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, my computer I film at 4K now with all my other cameras. Yeah, and my computer just falls over. It just can't cope with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ancient. It's a 2015 Mac I've got, and it was top spec then, but it just can't cope with it now. So I'll find that.
I replaced mine last year with the singing or dancing thing, and that it doesn't bat an eyelid. It can handle it all, but obviously after a few years that will probably change. But
be obsolete when it next year. It'll be obsolete.
Yeah.
I've got a new MacBook Pro coming. I've got one of them, so I've got to wait till June for that to arrive. Mrs. Teapot, help me out there. Thank you, wife. Cheers. Right, next question. Cheers for that, Dale. Next one, Mark Fulcher. Oh, here we go. Sorry, mate. He's opened with, hey, up me ducks. Yay, Fat Gaza Barlow is back. Why do they call you Fat Gary Barlow? I would have said you were the thin Gary Barlow.
I don't know. Maybe I've got a round head. Got quite a big melon, maybe. I don't know.
You're talking to me here, mate. No, don't worry about it. For both of you, personal opinion, obviously, best motorcycle-related YouTube channel for video content and honest opinions. Oh, the Likeable Rider, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Best motorcycle-related YouTube channel.
Yeah, you go.
I'm liking a new one that's out at the moment called Moto Feels. He's an Aussie guy, and he's.
I was just about to say that, Shaun, the Australian guy on the Scrambler.
He's very much. You can tell he's inspired. He's taken a lot of inspiration from people like Peter McKinnon, and there's little bits of Casey Neistat in that, and that's the angle I wanted to go from, but I just haven't got the skill level to do it. And his vids, just the production value and aesthetically, they're really good, and he's getting better and better and better with his presentation as well, so he's very engaging.
I was going to say the exact same channel, but I only found it a couple of months ago. But I just love listening to the Australians, because they're just easy to listen to. And they're all cool. It sounds cool. It's really easy to listen to. But he's actually a photographer more than anything else.
So he's got the eye. He's got that creative eye. Yeah,
I think he does that as a business. If I'm not correct. Yeah. But yeah, his vids are very easy to watch, and his bike's awesome. Sounds amazing.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does sound good.
Yeah.
Because over here, obviously, we've got Moto Bob. He sort of rose to fame over COVID. He just appeared from nowhere and just rocketed up. And he's the same. He's got very good production values because he comes from that background with his job. So the production values are really good.
Really good. Yeah. It's an awesome channel. But the Australians are easy to listen to.
Yeah, but for honest opinions, sheesh.
Well, on a favourite channel?
I think I'd like to think most of us out there, we all just give our own opinion. There's no point in bullshitting, is there? Because you'll just get found out, and then you're foobarred. I don't know. I don't know about you. I don't watch much bike-related YouTube. I don't get the time.
No, I mean, obviously less than the average, I suppose. But I do watch some, but it's not every day for certain. But obviously, we all watch each other's content in between, when you've got time.
Yeah. Sunday is normally my catch up day.
There's a bit of that. But yeah, his is a channel that I definitely like
Moto Feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've not checked him out, definitely check out Moto Fields. It's good, and he's definitely on the up.
Yeah.
Second question from Mark. On a quick blast out the other morning, a few observations were made. Now, I don't care what you're riding. I'll nod my head when out and about. Literally every bike I passed kindly acknowledged the same, all except for 2 Harley Davidson riders. Is this because they have their head firmly up one's arse and can't see past the bandana, or do the assless chaps prevent them from nodding? Do you get that? Do you get that in Germany? Bike snobbery, with people not nodding back?
Yeah.
Do you?
You do. But sometimes I don't though, especially on days out, and especially sort of or high season where every man and his dog's out. After a while, it gets annoying. Me, obviously, because we're on the other side. We're on the other side of the road, so we always give the wave, and you kind of it gets on your tits after a while, and I don't know. Sometimes I even stop saying hello.
You disappoint me, Shaun. I think Europe is so much cooler because you can do that. I like the fact we're different and we ride on the left-hand side over here, or drive on the left-hand side. But I do admit, I find it easier to ride or drive on the right-hand side. Plus, it means that you can be much cooler with your waving hello.
And if you've got a gang of guys coming up to you and there's 20 of them, you can just hold your hand out and just sort of plod along until they've all pissed off, and then
rather than doing Woody Woodpecker like you do over here, where
I don't. It does. It gets annoying after a while. And sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I want to say hello to everybody, perhaps.
You're not feeling it, are you, Shaun? You're not feeling it. Come on, get more beer down you.
Yeah,
Mark also says, when's the next single being released, Gary? Keep up the good work, gents. Shiny side up. I don't think Mark's going to let that one go. Next one. Louise Worsfold. Great to see the ex-Pongo back on the channel. Has the Touratech mount for the Garmin worked, or has it turned like a £10 naffy bag?
No, I mean, I've not made a video. I was going to make a video on it, but it was a bit of a pain in the ass. Right. So I ended up binning it off. So on my next sort of ride out, I was going to sort of clear it up. But yeah, I don't know if you saw. I used the when I bought the bike, I used the BMW cradle for the Nav 6, and I found an adapter online from a guy in Italy where you could put the adapter in the Nav 6 cradle, and I could use my Garmin XT.
All right.
You could just for power. You couldn't use the Wonder Wheel.
The Wonder Wheel thing.
Yeah, the software is not on the XT, but yeah, it was working for a few months, but then I was getting sort of dodgy. I don't know whether it was a dodgy connection. It wasn't always charging the Sat-nav, and it got to a point where every time I started the bike, or I turned the ignition on, power would come to the bike, power would go to the Garmin. And as soon as I'd start the bike, it'd kill the power to the Garmin, and it'd stay off until the thing nearly died. And I was out on rides, and you put routes on, and your Sat-nav was nearly on its ass. So did a bit of testing and whatnot, and it seemed to be the adapter. So I ended up taking all the BMW cradle off and installing the new Touratech mount with the normal sort of power cradle from Garmin, and it works.
Yeah. That's all fine, is it?
So we're all seeing all dancing.
See, BMW are bringing out on my tractor, I bought this 20 odd quid little phone mount off of Amazon that just clips straight into the nav cradle, and then you can just slide your phone in and it powers your phone. Just a little, it's got a wee USB port, same thing. Yeah. And it's brilliant. Well, BMW have now cottoned on to that, and they're bringing out.
Have you seen the price?
No, go on. How much is it? I was going to say it's
ridiculous. It's like $250 here. Just so you can plug your pissing phone into it and use the BMW.
And use the Wonder Wheel.
Yeah. Yeah. A mate of mine got one on his GS. I said to him, "Oh yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'd be up for that. How much is one of them? Yeah, $250. Well, you can keep that."
I don't use the Wonder Wheel. I don't use it.
I never. No. Well,
the only time I use it,
never had the option to use it, but I don't miss it. But
the only time I use it is to cancel, like if you get a low fuel warning light come up. Yeah. That's about the only time I go, oh yeah, I've got that thing, don't I? That's what you do. Never bother with it.
But it's a daft price if you ask me.
20 odd quid on Amazon, folks. DM me, I'll send you the link. 20 odd quid. That's all it is. Job done. Bosh. Happy days.
No, don't get the BMW one.
Louise has got a second question. What is the 5-0s and the general population's attitude towards bikers in Germany? I only ask as here in the UK, I was shouted at for riding through a small village today, despite low revs, below the limit, and not near anything. What can the biking community do to help their reputation, or is it that some people will just always have a rage at the sight of a motorbike? Yes, I think some people will always just have the hump.
They'll always have that for sure. Yeah. Yes, there are always people that sort of make us look shite and ruin it for the rest of the community. Yeah. I mean, here it's a big thing on noise pollution. So all the people that put loud pipes on, although we all like to spruce our bikes up a bit, it's all got to be done within sort of the legal realms. Yeah. But some people go above and beyond that and just put full systems on. But the risk here, if you get pulled over with that sort of stuff on your bike, then it's just not worth the risk for a bit of noise. So all you can do here legally is slip-ons. There's no full systems, headers and whatnot. It's all pretty much illegal here. So a slip-on is pretty much all you can do, which is enough. And to be honest, you can understand. I mean, so Germany's a pretty bike-orientated place, and a lot of the good roads or the good places that we ride is heavily bike-orientated. So you can kind of understand the sort of small villages. They could have thousands of bikers barking through there of a weekend, and if everybody's got race systems or whatnot on, you can understand their sort of.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
But yeah. Everybody still wants to live and have a bit of fun and whatnot. As long as you're doing everything legal, then I don't think there's an issue with it. But as she said, there's always people that will just think we're arseholes.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because that whole noise thing has started over here now, and we now have like speed cameras, but they're for noise. There's one or two of them now active down here in the south of England, and same thing. You go by, if you trigger it, then it's an automatic. I think it's now a fine via the post. I don't think you get points. I'm not sure if you get penalty points, but they certainly will fine you. I think they're now fully active in that they're sending fines through to the post, because it was just like you'd get a warning before.
Yeah, it's definitely points here if you're too loud, but it's like, I mean, that was still to come in the UK. Although they're cutting down on noise pollution, it's policed here. It's not in the UK. That's the main thing. So, and the police are so hot on everything after market on your bike. They all know pretty much what they're looking for if they pull you over. And that's the massive risk that's here. It's that it's heavily policed, or the regs and the rules and regs. Everybody can take cans off to go through an MOT in UK, and then just put it back on in a year's time or 2 years' time when you're back in MOT, and you can ride around. And if the police don't give a toss, then you can get away with it. But the police give a toss here, so that's the main difference.
Yeah, interesting.
But it'll come. It'll come.
I don't know if it will come over here, because there's not an awful bill.
Yeah, it could be.
They've got plenty of other things to be dealing with, so I don't know if it's something that you will always get coppers over here who that is their thing. You get that at the moment. I've had it in Wales. Got pulled. My mate got pulled for having too loud exhaust on his Tuono, and then they tried to have a pop at me. On my GS, and I was like, that's a bog standard exhaust. There's absolutely nothing aftermarket on that bike whatsoever in terms of exhaust. And then he looked at me and he went, well, your visor's too dark. And I was like, this is the road legal tint. Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, but, he didn't argue.
Was it last year? My lad got knocked off his push bike by a car. And a mate of mine happened to be passing by, and he stopped and waited with him, and he phoned me up, and I was out on my bike at the time. Yeah. So I turned around and raced back to sort of where they were, and I managed to stop there where the coffers and everything was still all happening. And while he was talking to my lad and taking statements and whatnot, this other jobs were started looking around my bike.
Oh God!
And I was like, mate, is this really the time? I said everything on that bike's legal, and he was well, I just need to check. I said no, you don't. I said have a bit of decency and let's deal with my lad just getting creamed off his bike, you idiot. But I don't know. Some of them you got just no time for.
You get it. Honestly, you get it everywhere. It's just people, isn't it? It's just people. There's arseholes everywhere.
He was only a young lad. He can only be in mid-20s or something, maybe.
Oh yeah, he's still keen.
Obviously. Yeah. Swinging his dick.
Yeah, absolutely. Louis says, keep up the great work with both your channels. Adam B. Yes. Question for Shaun. How did you find the transition to civvy life? I'm currently transitioning from military to civvy myself and about to start my first normal job in many years. Any words of wisdom?
It was difficult for me for sure, because I never knew anything else. Because I joined when I was 16 and left when I was 28, 27. I knew nothing else. So I had no idea of normal living, no idea what council tax was, how much you paying electric bills. Everything was sorted for by the military. You had your, when I was a single guy at the time, you just had your room on camp. You got your wage. You were deducted whatever you were paying for your room, which was pittance. Your food and everything was deducted. But I had no idea of normal sort of living costs or how it even worked. Taxes, all that kind of stuff. No idea whatsoever. So it was all very daunting. But and obviously I was trying to then understand it in a foreign country. And at the time when I left, I couldn't speak German. So not knowing anything about that in English, trying to then understand it in a foreign language, disaster. Well, obviously my missus helped out no end with that, but it is a hard transition, and especially the life that we lived, predominantly sort of male environment, and what we sort of got up to, and did one I was probably frowned upon in most sort of civilian street, if you like. But that was a bit of, I mean, obviously we all like it. We all like a bit of a drink, but we had a wild time. It was definitely wild, and trying not to bring that into sort of civilian life was a bit difficult. But yeah, good luck with that.
What do you miss most? What do you miss most about the mob life?
The crack, all the lads, just being, I mean, it was back then. I mean, there was females in the military back then, but a lot less than what it is now. Just there was no political correctness. There was no health and safety. Pretty much just do what you want, say what you want. And we had a whale of a time. We got to travel the world doing it. We drank a lot. Okay, there was a lot of times it wasn't so nice, but what an amazing time. But it's definitely not a married man's job, or it wasn't back then. Definitely a single man's job is the way to go. But if you're married with kids like I was, it's a bit different. But and even that, I probably lost my first marriage to the life, because although you're married, you live in a single man's life, and we're all getting pissed up and going crazy, and you can't sustain a marriage in that sort of environment. It's just not possible. Only very few of my friends from back in the day are still married now. I can probably count them on one hand that are still together, and they managed to sort of get through that sort of life. But for me, no, I mean, I was early 20s and I was married. It was way too early. And there's no way you can sort of sustain a marriage in that environment.
There's a lot of similarities there with the old Bill. There's so many old Bill that I know, they're on second, third, fourth, even fifth marriages. It's just some of them. I draw the line at 2. I mean, I've had a second crack at it, but there wouldn't be a third. Everyone says that.
No way. No, I wouldn't. I'd ride my bike on me Todd.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember those days.
Yeah. No, there wouldn't be a third go for me. No chance.
Where were we?
He was asking for advice. He was asking for advice. Sorry, man.
Yes. Yeah. God, yeah. I mean, like, does the army not have do they not help with the transition into civil life now?
Oh, it's dog shite.
Is it?
Well, it was then. I don't know if it is now. It's the same with sort of mental health issues. Back in the day, coming back from tours and whatnot, it was non-existent. And when I left, I did some shitty, I don't know, they sent me on some shitty network technician course. Yeah. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. And they just sort of just go and do that sort of thing. You didn't really get any sort of decent advice that was sort of beneficial. Gotcha. And, I ended up wasting 6 weeks of my time doing that. And I didn't even need to do it, I mean, it was maybe it's different now. I don't want to slag it off, but back then, it was naff. Basically, you could just you put your notice in, and after a year you left. You did a shitty course in something, and that was you then gone.
So, what advice can we give Adam then? Well, I mean, you found.
I think I'm too long out to be able to. Yeah. I mean, if you're leaving now, things possibly be a lot better than what they used to be. But
I think if I can give you a little bit of advice, Adam, just from my perspective, then coming from a job where you are sort of, I hate the term, but institutionalized, because you are sort of you're almost told a set way to live. The old Bill's similar to that. You're sort of you have to live by certain allegedly you've got to live by certain standards. And, to come out of that into the real world, it is a shock. I've found it a big shock. I've found it really hard to deal with. Just like not being self-employed in particular, I found very hard, just the financial insecurity side of it, because I've always been paid by the government, so I've always known I'm getting a wage coming in. And now I don't. Now I don't know every month if I'm getting money or not. So that's hard. But what I would say is just try and remember why you made that decision to leave. for whatever reason it is. You've left that way.
Did he say he'd done his full time, or that he'd left early?
No, he just says he's just transitioning from military to civvy. So I would just suggest, like, there's bound to have been times when you're in the military where you were hating what you were doing. You know, you were hating the life. Well, try and remember them, and if you can, think of what the new civvy life, the opportunities it gives you, because you've got freedom. All of a sudden you've got total freedom. You know, so for me, that helps me, is the thought of, okay, there's some bad bits about moving to this style of life, but the good far outweigh the bad for me. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody sort of blends in and adapts and overcomes. Possibly be aware of although it sounds a bit, I don't know, it sounds a bit wanky in this day, doesn't it? Be aware of the political correctness, because every man and his dog is offended over everything. And obviously the life that we live, most of the time it's just abuse.
Yeah. Your audience.
So transit. Yeah, definitely. Know your audience. If you call someone a cock, that's nowadays you probably.
Yeah. Oh, you've gone.
Fired for that, right?
Oh, you're there. Yes, you need to watch. Yeah, if you're going to be working for somebody else, Jesus, yeah, you need to watch what you say.
Mind your F's and P's. Or your door's open as your dog walked in.
Yes, she has. Yeah. Get out of there. Go. Right. Second question. Question for Bruce. Was there any particular reason why you've decided not to do season 2 of Motorbike TV? If you're happy to discuss, of course. Apologies if this has already been asked in other podcasts.
Well, I'd be interested in that.
Do you know, I'm not sure if I have chatted about it on a podcast.
Was there a season 2? I didn't know there was going to be.
Yeah. So season 2 being filmed this year. I was asked to go back for it. Initially, I said I would. And to be honest, then I just had a wee think about it. I didn't particularly enjoy that style of filming. You know, I didn't enjoy being told what to say. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. You know, I was expecting us to be out reviewing bikes and spending a lot of time on bikes, riding bikes. And just when you see the back end of these type of productions, there's very little riding involved. And I wasn't comfortable like reviewing or giving my opinion of a bike when I've spent like an hour on it. You know, it's when I review a bike, I've normally spent at least a full day on the thing. You know, like you try and put in as many miles as you possibly can. If not, if I get a bike for a couple of weeks, then, you know, I'll do 2, 3, 4, 5,000 miles if I can. Just get out and smash it. Yeah. So I just wasn't particularly happy doing that style of filming. And then I wasn't really getting anything from it, to be perfectly honest with you.
I get it, mate. And if I'm honest, if I may, I'm glad you've not gone back to season 2, because just for me, from when I watched it, I didn't think it was like you were saying. It's probably not what you expected. It's not what I expected to watch either.
No.
So I think it's possibly the right move.
Yeah, I thought I'd be better off putting the time and effort into creating my own stuff that I want to create, rather than doing it for somebody else that ultimately I don't get anything from it. So I wish them the best. You know, I genuinely wish them the best for this season. They've got Lara on board, Lara Moto, and she's going to be a great addition. Charlie's joined them as well, Charlie Borman. So, you know, never got to meet Charlie. So, and Lara. I've not met Lara face to face. I've only met her on here through the podcast. But I'll be interested to see how it goes for her. But fair play to them. Enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, next one. TJ Shady Lane. Evening both. Question 1. What's your workflow for editing 360? As I'm just starting, but seems to take ages and has lots of steps to go through. Over to you for this one.
I've moved up from Filmora to Adobe Premiere Pro.
Oh, you're using Premiere Pro, yeah?
Yeah, and you can edit your 360 footage within that, but I still don't, because there's just too much happening. So I still use the 360 Studio which is an independent software.
Yeah.
You have to, obviously, if you don't know, your 360 footage normally has to be edited independently of the other stuff.
Yeah.
So if I'm using 2 or 3 other cameras, I have to go through all that 360 footage first and edit that on its Todd. So it does bump up your editing time by hours, days, even, if you like.
Jesus.
I possibly, I don't know, it probably takes me a day just to get through all the 360 footage.
Yeah.
Once that's all exported, then you can then start editing your normal stuff. And then, so it probably puts an extra day on editing a film for me.
So you take your 360 footage, and then what do you export that as a normal MP4 file, like a flat video file?
Yeah. But obviously, once you've looked at all the angles that you want to use and how God, pounds and turns and changes angles and whatnot. So that get exported as an MP4, and then you add that then to your other cameras before you all sync them together and make your magic.
See, I just export all of my 360 files. I just export them as a flat 360 image. So it's just, it's still 360, and then I import that into Final Cut. And like Premiere Pro, you can then use oh good God, keyframes. You can use keyframes to spin the footage around and frame it how you want, zoom in, zoom out, do all that sort of stuff. Massively processor intensive. It hammers your computer. So that with 4K as well, just that adds days to my edit, just because I have to sit and wait for the computer to catch up, and then go forward a couple of frames, wait for the computer to catch up. Yeah,
if your PC's struggling, then it makes that. I mean, that's what I was having 2 years before. My PC just struggled with everything. It just made editing an utter disaster. Even cut into music or edit or transition or cut into beats, and the music was just all guesswork.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm going through at the moment.
It's a nightmare. So mine had to go, and I got myself a new powerful thing that can handle it.
Oh man, I cannot wait till mine arrives.
That's amazing.
Do you know what's really gutting is that I've bought myself a monitor and a new keyboard and mouse, so that I can when I'm at home I can use the big monitor and do my work, and then when I'm away I can take the MacBook with me and do work there. So guess what arrived in the post? My new keyboard's arrived, but the computer doesn't come till mid-June.
Oh, brilliant.
So I've just got this new keyboard sat there, and I'm like, can't use it yet. Right, TJ's second question. Now that COVID has been replaced by a special military operation, and so we are free to travel, when's the UK clan Likeable Rider German tour? See you Friday. Absolutely. Would you be up for that? If I brought some people over?
Did he mean to hear? To Germany?
Yeah,
of course.
We'll do we could do a joint Patreon meet if you want. My lot, your lot, and we'll just do a big meet. We did that a few years ago, didn't we?
We did. It was quite a success.
Yeah, it was a good giggle, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm definitely up for that. If I'm available, then.
This is caveat. If I'm available, right? My lot. If you're up for it, then comment when I post this up, either the audio version or the video version. When I post it up on my Patreon, comment and tell me that you're up for it, and we'll make it happen. Yeah,
we need to get the others over as well, because I know Richie was up for coming over, and probably.
Don't worry about them; they can sort their own stuff out.
Oh yeah. No, that
no, yeah, definitely. We've been saying it for ages, haven't we? Need to get like a big joint gathering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I now do my sponsor readouts during the actual podcast rather than record them after. Do you mind if I just do one or two now?
No, help me yourself.
Excellent. Folks, I know some people don't like these sponsor readouts. Truth be told, I don't like having to do them either, but it has to happen. I can't do it without the sponsor. So I'm indebted to them for their support. First sponsor readout is, let's go with Ultimate Add-ons. Now, Ultimate Add-ons, they've been back in the channel for a long time now. I've been using the phone mount and the Helix strap mount. I've been using that for 4 years now, 5 years. Never had any problems at all with vibration when I used that. I've had it once where it damaged the camera on my phone, but that's when I used a prototype mount, which I no longer use. Use the Helix strap one, no issues whatsoever. The cases themselves, the phone cases, they're waterproof, they're shockproof, they're dustproof. You can still use the phone as normal once it's in that case there. You can make calls, you can even use the camera, all that shebang. Great bit of kit, great bit of kit. So if you head to Ultimate Add-ons, that's ultimate with addons.com, use the code TeapotOne with the number 10, TeapotOne10, you'll get 10% off the entire range. There'll be links down below. Right, Shaun, I'm back. Hiya.
Hello. Sorry, me boys are out on the party. They're asking for beers. Yeah, they want two Vites and beers coming right out.
Start them young. Oh, the barman's getting in there.
Hopefully, I've got enough.
You have to give him a flake for that. Right, I finished beer one. I'm going to crack on with beer number two.
Yeah, do.
Back to some Brewdog. Excuse us, folks. Alcoholics.
Well, you can get that on the Perfect Draft boost, but it's like $40.
What, Brewdog?
Yeah.
Well, you know, quality doesn't come cheap, Shaun.
Yeah, but when these only cost me like $12.99, I was talking to Richie the other day about them because he's got this as well.
He's got one, yeah.
But it costs like 40 quid a barrel for 6 litres. I was always sending pictures, and they're on offer
6 litres
for $12.99. This is $12.99. This
for 6 litres of lager. Wow, I should get one for the office.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not cheap though for you guys in the UK because most of it's imported beer, so you pay a lot for the import.
Sheesh, thanks,
not
Brexit.
Me.
Right, next one. Smoky Gun. Hi, both. For Shaun, what's the biggest thing you miss about biking in the UK, which is noticeably different or non-existent when biking in Germany?
Never biked in the UK. I say again, never biked in the UK.
He's just a splitter, isn't he, folks? He's just a splitter.
I mean,
he fought for the country.
Maybe the guy
for the country,
know.
But buggered off. Yeah, sheesh.
I moved to Germany when I was 17. Maybe he doesn't know that. I'm now 40, and I moved here when I was 17, and I've never ridden a bike in the UK.
Fair one. Well, is there anything that you see then about biking in the UK that you think, oh, I wish we had that here? Rain, traffic,
shagged roads,
potholed roads,
hedgerows. We don't have that here. We don't have hedges.
Do you not?
No, it's all open. You can see everything. Every corner, you can pretty much see where you're going or what's coming. There's no hedge shrubbery.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but because it's new to me and I've not done it, I'm dying to do it. Although we've just sort of knocked it down a few pegs with knackered roads and traffic and all kinds of rubbishness. I still want to come and do it. So
yeah, I mean,
I shall.
Some beautiful places. Yeah, Scotland for starters. Scotland's gorgeous. Wales is good. There's so many. There are some really quality places.
Yeah, well, that was the good thing about it is that my parents retired 3-4 years ago. They moved up to Scotland. So, where are they? In Irvine. They're in Irvine. So yeah, it's on the list anyway to come over and do that, and Wales, and I want to do the Lake District. I want to do everywhere. Go everywhere. So it'll happen eventually, but as I said, for this year, I think I'm going to do something for myself first.
No, definitely, mate. I get that. Totally. Right, Robert Aitken. How you doing, Robert? Hello, both. Is there any chance of Is there any chance of a dual patron meetup, maybe even next year in Germany, of course? And you have to invite Andy Mancam. Yes, we just chatted about that earlier, Robert. So yeah,
seems to be a high demand.
I think so. People have asked me about this for quite a while now, actually, probably since the first time you came on the podcast. Was that last year, year before? Was that 2 years ago now? I've been doing this for 2 years.
Last podcast? No, we went on...
The first one, when we got absolutely bladdered.
Oh, yeah.
We were both steamboats before we even started, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
That was the start of COVID, wasn't it? That's when I started this.
Bloody hell. Just before, I think.
Wow, it's been going 2 years. Sheesh.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, whoopsie.
But yeah, I mean, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. Is that a thing? I mean, do a lot of people? I mean, Germany's fairly unknown. I feel, although I try and push it out there, biking in Germany. It's still. Is it? I don't know. I still feel it's a thing that people don't do or wouldn't even consider as much.
No, I think. I mean, I used to love riding over there. I used to go over quite a lot and do a lot of touring around Germany. But I just noticed that the old bill started to concentrate on us being British bikers. They seem to target us more, and it just and then I think it put us off the next year. So we went to Spain. And then in Spain, it's just a playground. You know, the old bill don't care. As long as you're up in the mountains and you're behaving in the villages and towns, they don't care. So it was, for us, it was just like, well, why would we go to Germany and sort of have the old bill hounded us?
I think Germany gets a kind of undue bad rap. Because I've been here 22 years and I've been pulled over once.
Right.
Admittedly, I got rogered that one time, but I mean, most people when they come from UK, they go down towards the Nürburgring, towards the Eiffel and the Mosel. That's the kind of a high touristy area. So
that's exactly where we were going.
You might encounter the odd policeman is probably a bit higher, but if you piss off further east, to the non-touristy areas, then you'll have no trouble. I mean, people get a bit, people write to me all the time, I want to come over, but I'm a bit worried about it. And I've got this on my bike and got that on my bike. Yes, you have to abide by the rules of the country you're visiting in. So coming over with full race systems is fairly uncool in their eyes. And you might have an issue, but if you've got if you've got nothing dodgy on your bike that's going to upset people and you go to sort of outside of there's so many places to go in Germany that's amazing. And sort of outside or further away from the touristy areas, then you'll have no trouble. And all these, all the stuff, people, I'm worried about all the roads that have been banned and weekends and whatnot. It sounds way worse than what it is.
Yeah, I got to admit, when I came over a couple of years ago, and we had that meetup, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, parts of Germany I've not ridden in before. And
did we have an issue? We didn't. And you had a full system on your GS.
I did actually. Yeah, I at that time I had no knowledge that they were so anal about exhausts, and I had a full Akapovic system on my GS.
Yeah,
whapping it all over the place, and never had a problem, did we?
No.
So get over there, folks. I've not done much of Eastern Germany actually. I've got to admit I've not toured a lot in Eastern Germany. So definitely like to go and see more of that.
Absolutely.
Right, Charlie Callard. How you doing, Charlie? Hope you're all well. So a couple of questions. One, where did you get the name the Likeable Rider?
Oh, that was it was a family get together. I was kind of struggling for a name, so I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll just put sort of random names into a hat. So I kind of caught the idea, something the rider, chucked all kinds of names into a hat, and somebody pulled one out, and that's what I got, which I was happy with, because it could have been far worse.
The Fister.
I mean, to be honest, whether I like it or not, I don't know. For me, it kind of sounds a bit arrogant that I like myself or something. I don't know.
I didn't think that until you just said it, and now I'm like,
oh yeah,
you twat.
Yeah. But when you first start out, when you're just starting up your channel, you've got sort of the content I was making back then was awful. You've got no idea where it's going, or even that it's going to become a thing. So you just end up typing in some. I mean, maybe you put a bit more thought into it, and others potentially do. But I was using YouTube as a hard drive back in them days, just because I didn't want to fill up my laptop with all my unedited rubbish videos that I was posting on there. So I was just uploading videos just onto YouTube just to get rid of some space. And I just bunged in this name. I thought, what sounds all right. So not really much thought went into it, but obviously a few years down the line, when it actually becomes a thing, you think, oh God, wish I'd have sort of come up with something a bit better than that. But Yeah.
I don't know if it, I don't think the name matters. I genuinely don't think your sort of YouTube channel name matters because you develop the brand. It can be called anything, can't it? I mean,
yeah, when it becomes a thing. It becomes a thing, like any sort of theme tune music you use, if it's annoying or catchy and whatnot.
Yeah,
it becomes something that people sort of remember. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to name it something cooler for sure, but that's what happened. So,
mate, mine's bloody TeapotOne, as some people call it. Oh,
TeapotOne.
TeapotOne. What's TeapotOne mean? Or TeapotOne. What's that all about? Random name, but oh well, it just is what it is. Question 2 from Charlie. After a massive Sunday roast, which would you prefer? Apple crumble and custard or jam roly-poly and custard?
Apple crumble, but not custard. I used to drench that in condensed milk.
Oh, my dad does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a condensed milk man.
My mum used to make a wicked apple crumble, and I used to just drown that in condensed milk. But also a hot apple crumble with cold condensed milk drizzled all over it.
Jeez, that's sweet.
No custard.
I do like custard, I've got to admit, but yeah, condensed milk would be lush. My dad used to put condensed milk on his cornflakes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what I remember. My dad coming home from being offshore, and my mum would always stock up with condensed milk, and he'd have his cornflakes in the morning with condensed milk on it. And then he put condensed milk in his tea. Yeah, he had a really sweet tooth.
That's rank. Right, I'm just going to put some lights on here. We're getting a bit dark.
Oh, look at that. It's proper setup over there, folks, isn't he? Proper setup. Look at it.
Well, should we have some disco lights on?
Yeah, I was going to say what happened. There we go. Look.
There you go.
Amazing. Have you got a little red lamp for the corner as well?
There is one there, yeah, but I've got it on blue at the moment. Is that too annoying? Is that too annoying?
No, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Charlie says, keep them shiny side up, gents. Cheers, Charlie. Thanks very much, pal. There we go. We haven't seen this name in a little while. Pete English. Hi, guys. Hope you're both fit and well. My question, did you get any pocket money as a child? If so, was it earned or was it just given? And if you had to work for it, what did you have to do to get it? Well, dear, do you need a little doll for this, Shaun? Or are you okay? Here, and here.
I don't remember ever getting pocket money.
Did you not?
No, we did. We had like paper rounds when we were 12, 13 years old. I went and washed dishes in a hotel when I was 13, 14. So I don't remember. Maybe I did. Maybe parents will be spitting at the TV. No, I don't know. I don't remember getting pocket money.
We used to get pocket money, and it wasn't much.
Yeah, it would have been
like 50p a week or something.
Yeah, it would have been
quid a week.
Yeah,
So doing things like taking the bins out. But I was like 8, 9. It was young. Yeah. And then, as you said, when I was about 13, 14, then I got a job. I got a weekend job, and I was either I used to peel the potatoes in a chip shop.
Yeah.
So that was what I was doing. And then during the school holidays, worked on the farm picking fruit. So.
Yeah, we worked. We didn't. I mean, we didn't do anything at home. Nothing. Yeah. We didn't even have to. They didn't even ask us to wash dishes or take the bins out or mow the lawn or anything. We did. Me and my brother. We did absolutely nothing at home. Bugger all. But we went out and did other stuff that we earned our money for. So I can't remember we even. As like you said, we probably maybe got a quid or 50p to go and get some sweets or something.
Yeah.
But that was it. We didn't get like 20 quid, or anything just to keep us going or anything. We all had to earn our cash. So. Yeah,
I don't think we actually physically got given the money. I think the money just went into a bank account, and I never saw it and didn't have access.
Yeah, possibly. To it. I mean, yeah, we had accounts that my parents saved up, or maybe put money in, and we got the accounts when we were 18.
I think
did you have that?
No, we used to, like when we went away on holidays. So the family summer holiday every year, then it would be like, right, okay, my mum would get the money out of our bank accounts that we'd earned throughout the year, and it's like, right, that's yours to spend on whatever you like for the holiday. So
really? No, we didn't have that.
Or buy Lego or something. Yeah,
waste it.
Yeah, totally. Sweet. Yeah. No, but yeah. We've got pocket money, but nothing. But to be fair to youngsters these days, I don't think they can work till they're at least 16. I don't think they can get like paper rounds and stuff now when you're 10, 11, 12 years of age.
Paper rounds you can get here. I don't know how old you have to be, but it's definitely 16 if you work in like a stacking shelves or something or whatever. You definitely have to be 16.
Yeah,
one of my lads works he's 18. He works in a drinks supermarket, so
happy days.
Bit of discount on the old lager.
Fantastic, happy days. Right, nice one, Pete. Next one, Johnny Hackinson. Hi to both of you. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Johnny. I've met Johnny.
Oh, have you?
He came. When
did you meet Johnny?
Oh, that was.
What are you meeting my friends for, Shaun?
That was about 3 years ago, maybe. He came over. He was. I can't remember where he was traveling to, but we met in Hanover, at a bike shop, and we had a chat for an hour or two. We had some chips and a bratwurst. Yeah, he talked to me about his travels that he's been on. He travels obviously a lot more than I do. But yeah, lovely guy.
Awesome. Good. Johnny says, question for both. We probably all know what TMF would sell if he opened his own store, but what would you sell? Oh, good question. Right. You opened up your own shop. What would you sell?
Would have to be beer. I'd have to have a beer shop.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely. Without trying to drink much of your own produce.
I've just got visions of your shop just being left open and you're just in a drunken stupor.
What can I do you for, man?
Okay, right. Shaun will be a raving alcoholic. What would I sell? Jeez. I don't know. What am I interested in?
Keep it clean.
That's TMF. TMF would just have lots of various ornaments all over the place. Plug type ornaments. What would I sell? What am I into? I like gadgets.
Oh, really? Gadget man.
Yeah, I like action camera gadgety type stuff. That's what I like. Yeah, I'm into that.
Make your own action camera.
Do you know what? I wish somebody bloody would. I wish somebody out there would make a motovlogger specific camera. That's what I wish. I really wish that would happen. I thought I had it within of, but they've not gone down that route. Sadly, I've seen this new camera they're producing, and it's not. Don't get excited, folks. It's not going to answer any of our woes whatsoever.
Yeah, it's all dash camera stuff, right?
Yeah. It's not our market at all.
That's why I love. Sorry to interrupt. That's why I love that Insta360 are catering more towards us, and they're listening to us, and they're firing cameras over to us. I mean, who would get a GoPro unless you've got like 1 million subscribers? Who's going to get a GoPro to review? Yeah. Nobody.
None of us get them anyway.
No, yeah. and they're firing them out even to the likes of me. And they're listening to what we want, so they're catering. I think they're getting there.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, like now I seem to have fixed all the reliability issues with the GoPro with these batteries. I'm perfectly happy with my Hero. Certainly the Hero 10, it's brilliant. Well, Hero 9 is good as well.
They're not even any more expensive, right? The white ones.
No, exactly the same price. What are they? 20 quid a battery. 18 quid a battery, something like that. Okay. And they last longer. You get about an hour and a half out of them. And you can, with the white ones, you can put them in the cameras. You can put them in the Hero 9 or the Hero 10 and then not use the camera for a day or two. And they'll still be like almost 100% charged. Whereas the blue ones, if you put that camera in, leave it overnight, come to it in the morning, and you've lost 50% of your charge. It's gone. Definitely the white ones are the way to go.
So you'd be a selling action cameras.
Do you know? Yeah, probably. I don't know. Even that doesn't tickle my nuts. What would I sell?
You could sell that.
Well, nut tickling stuff.
Yeah. Nut tickler.
Nut tickler. Oh God, Johnny, that's a good question, man. I don't know. What would I sell in my shop? Do Do you know what? If it's legal, probably something like weed. Weed seems to if weed's legal in the country that you're in, sell weed because you're going to get sale, aren't you? You're going to get sale on that. Says the ex-copper. Seems to be the market to be in at present.
Yeah.
Or NFTs. Do you know what NFTs are?
No.
Non something tokens. It's just new digital art, basically.
Okay.
I don't really understand it. My understanding is, if you have a picture, you create a picture online, like in the cyberspace, and you turn it into an NFT. You effectively own the copyright of that image. So if anyone wants to use it, then I think they have to. Am I right in saying this, people, that they have to pay you money in order to use that image? Is that how it works? I don't understand. Google it. Google NFTs. I keep being told I should get into NFTs, but I don't understand it. I'm too old. I don't understand it. I need someone to explain it to me. You're obviously not the man to do that, Shaun, because you're just looking at me like, I don't care. I'm not interested in this.
No idea what you're talking about.
We're too old. Beer, you said. Beer. Okay, so you're going to be an alcoholic and I'm going to be a stoner. Right. Cheers, Johnny.
Winning
at life. Paul Creasy. Hi, both. Hope you're both well. All good. Thank you, Paul. Question. We all know Bruce's words of wisdom being live your life, but are there any sayings you live by and where did they come from? That's to you, obviously, Shaun.
If it's wet, drink it.
Oh, God, I was wondering what you were going to say. You're not in the army now, Shaun.
You could shag it if it's wet.
The real Shaun's coming out now. So that's going to be your lasting thing for humanity, is it? I've got live your life, and yours going to be if it's wet, shag it.
Or drink it. What? That's wrong.
So that's going on your tombstone, yeah?
Yeah, could be. I've never been one for sayings or that sort of stuff, but yeah, that's befitting. If it's wet, drink it.
If it's wet, drink it. Okay. Yeah. Sheesh, it's not exactly motivational, is it, Paul? Sorry, mate. Never mind.
Oh, is it not?
Well, if you're an alcoholic, then I suppose, yes, very motivational. Yeah, absolutely. Next one, Lee Vigor. How you doing, Lee? Hi, both. Hope you're well. To both of you, if money was no object, what would be your dream bike? Go on.
Yeah, I mean, now that I've gone XR area, definitely Multistrada V4, Pikes Peak. If money was an object, so probably definitely Pikes Peak. Yeah, I'd like some of that action, I think.
Have you ridden one yet, or the V2?
No.
A couple of my mates have just ridden the V2 and have bought them.
Oh, okay.
Literally fell in love and bought them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've not ridden the V4 and I've not ridden the V2 yet. I've rode the old 1260 Multistrada.
Yeah, I've been on the older bike. That was a good 5 years ago or so, maybe, I think. But I love that bike. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
But I don't know, here, it's the Ferrari of motorbikes. But it is everywhere, isn't it? But yeah, it's definitely appealing to me, that bike. Very nice. Very nice.
Do you know, I've been totally turned around by MV Augusta. I used to think they were pointless and they were just show bikes because, the inline fours, there was just no point to them. You had to get them like north of 11,000, 12,000 revs before they actually did anything. And then all of a sudden you're doing 160 mile an hour. So I was like, what's the point of that? Apart from they look stunning. The new ones, the latest generation of even the inline four is really usable on the road. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
So I think I would probably go for something like...
And they cost a few bob as well.
They're very expensive, but there's nothing that looks like them. There's nothing comes close to them in looks. The detail in them is stunning. And now they're actually a usable engine. I think something like the 800 Brutale is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The 800's a triple, isn't it? And then there's the 1000, which is inline 4. Even that's good.
Do they both have the enclosed rear wheel though? Did the 800?
The solid rear wheel.
I didn't like that. That's
the top of the range. Oh God, I took that out with the TV show actually last year. What's that? That's
called? Like over 30 grand or something for that one, wasn't it?
It is about 38, I think.
Wasn't it the 1000? Wasn't it the 1000 Brutale?
It is, but it's a special edition of the 1000.
Okay, so the normal ones don't have
something
that.
Like the Rosso or something like that. It's called. I can't remember. It looks amazing. Honestly, when you see it in the flesh, it's just like, oh my God, wow. It looks like somebody's art project. You know, like car design or somebody like that has come up with a conceptual design, and it's just like, is that real? Is that an actual proper motorbike? And it's gorgeous.
It's Italian, isn't it? I mean, they know what they're doing with looks of bikes.
Yeah, I think I'd go down the MV Augusta route. I think I'm taking some out next week actually, MV Augustas. So looking forward to that. Yeah. Next one from Lee. Second question: if you could invent something for the motorcycle industry, what would it be and why?
Oh God, that's a good question. Put me on the spot.
Something
that isn't already on the market. Difficult to answer.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I would like at the moment, which I was hoping, Kalimoto. I know the latest update of Kalimoto is horrendous. It is horrendous. It's ruined the app. I appreciate it. I'm finding it very hard to use on the bike as well. What I hope they're going to, because apparently this update has come in to facilitate developments in the future. So an update in the back end, they've had to change all the software. And I'm hoping that it leads to a more social interactive app. So, you know, like a Facebook type of Instagram-y type thing, but integrated within the Kalimoto app. So not only can you use it to plan your routes and record your routes and do your random rides and everything like that, but it becomes much more of a biker social platform. So, you know, if I see a route that you go out and you track a route, right, and you decide you're going to share it, you're going to publish it publicly, it'll go onto like a homepage within the app. So when you open up the app somewhere near where you live, within a radius of where you are, where you've done that ride, and your app will come up, and then I could just tap your username, and you know, we could become biker friends, and you can use it. You could use it to meet up or plan rides together, or you know. You could get companies on board, bike cafes on board, and you could have social events, all, you know, turn it into a proper social biking app. I think that would be a good thing to have. Nobody does that. That's a nice idea. Nobody does that at the moment. So if anyone does do it, please give me the credit. That'd be awesome. Thanks. But that's what I hope. I hope Kalimoto goes down that route. I said to them that would be really good to have much more of a social interaction on there. Because at the moment, like if I publish a route up and you see the route and decide I want to do that, there's no way of me connecting with you.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't just tap your username and send you a message. You can't do that on the app.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah. That's a nice idea.
I think something like that. Yeah. What about you?
Oh, I don't know. Difficult to answer. Coming up on the spot with something new.
Yeah, I mean, what's not been addressed so far for bikers?
Smaller number plates would be a good one.
Yeah, but then the fine cameras can't see you. No number plates would be a good one.
Cool. So, mate of mine sent me on April Fool's Day. He didn't know it was an April Fool's Day joke himself, but he sent me this. He's like, "Sean, we have to get these." He sent me a picture of a number plate with a QR code on it, and that was the new number plate, and it was proper dead small. I said, "Marcus, have you looked at the date today?"
The date, yeah.
It's April Fool's Day. I said, "I think that's bollocks, mate."
It was Lone Rider had a class one this year. Did you see it? It's their new product that they launched, and it was like, look like a true adventurer, and it was spray on dirt. So you can spray dirt onto your bike to look like you've been off road and traveled the world.
Oh dear.
They had it on their website and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good ones. There were some good ones this year.
Right, next one. Christian Rasmussen. Hello, guys, and thank you both for all the videos. Shaun, being an expat myself, sometimes I find home is not home anymore. Where do you feel at home, UK or Germany?
Oh, that's a good question, because I don't feel at home here 100%. Only when I go back to the UK. That is home. That's where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't here. Because although I can speak fluent German, I've always said it. I'm not. How I'm talking to you now and the banter and the laugh we're having, I can't do that in German. Although you can try. Sometimes it sounds shit. Sometimes, people don't find your humour funny.
Yeah.
Some do. There are Germans that do find sort of dark humour, but they're few and far between. There's not many. And you got to hold on to them if you can find a few. But I can't, although I can speak fluent German, I can't express myself how I can when I'm speaking English. So I don't, in that respect, I've always found it difficult. Although I live here and it is where I live, it is my home. It isn't where I'm from. It's not where I'm most comfortable for sure. Right. So it's difficult. It's very difficult for people to understand. I mean, I came here at a young age, and even when I couldn't speak German, even trying to learn it, it's just so frustrating. Even, when I was married to my ex-missus before, all her family were German and I couldn't speak it. And even, having people over to the house, or you go to someone's house and just sitting there and people think, what's wrong with him? He doesn't say anything. It's just, it's draining. It's really draining. You hear it all the time. You're trying your hardest to engage with people, understand what they're saying, or even try and speak a bit of it. But when you come home, the TV's German, and then you've got it in 2 ears again. It's so draining. Not so much now, but it used to be very difficult. And I'll always say that UK is my home for sure.
Interesting, because it must have changed immeasurably from when you grew up here. But it still feels like home. Wow.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I go out and visit my folks and that, and I love it because I love to visit the place, and I love to go places, and I just like hopefully nobody gets offended, but the UK is so much more friendly than here. Really? South of Germany is more friendly, and you'll probably experience slightly different. The tourist areas are more friendly than say where I live here. But the people are, I don't know. Are they uptight? I don't know. There are obviously plenty of people that have a great sense of humor that you can have a laugh with. But in general, it's fairly, even just small things like going into a Tesco's in the UK and you're chatted to by the woman on the till, and they ask you if you want somebody to help you pack your bags. You don't get that here. Nobody talks to you, and it's all fucking whizzed through on the right now. Sling your up, get your card out, pay now, piss off, sort of thing. It's all a bit.
It's got your money. Now do one.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I went to UK, I went to a Starbucks and got a coffee, and the woman spoke to me, and I was in shock. I was like, "What does this person want from me?" And she was asking about my day, and I was thinking, "You cheeky bitch! And what are you talking about?" And I was that mentality, or the German mentality of like, "What are you doing? What? It's none of your business what I'm doing today. What are you talking about?" Yeah.
Why? What do you want to know?
And I was dead, until I sort of realised where I was, and I thought, "Oh, okay, it's just a friend. It's just the UK. It's just a bit more friendly." Shaun, get back into it. Steady yourself back into it. Chat to the lady. Take your coffee. Tell her what you're doing about your day.
Do you know, London is very much like that, like Germany, in that nobody looks you in the eye. Like you'll notice when you get on the tube in London, or if you're walking in the street, nobody's looking at you in the eye. And if they do, they're generally mental. So you're like, oh God, avoid them. It is like that. But then the second you get out of London, as you said, people start, hi, how are you? Chat away to you. You're like, what?
Yeah.
When we first moved
I'm
here.
not used to it.
we're like 40 odd miles outside of London, and it's a tiny little village that we live in. And people, like neighbours, will come up and introduce themselves and say hello, and you're like, what's going on here? Like, what do you want? Why?
I miss that. And since I've been here and obviously getting old, I've become such a miserable bastard because nobody does that here, and you kind of get into that mentality and that way of life, and then when somebody does talk to you and is friendly, you're like, will you piss off? I'm a miserable old bastard here. It's very bizarre.
But I suppose that's where biking's good, isn't it? Because you can just cocoon yourself away. You know, you can just shut that visor, get on the bike, foxtrot Oscar, and you've got your own time, haven't you?
But even for my mentality, I'm so glad that I'm doing it because it's the only time I ever speak English these days.
Wow.
I speak English to my kids. I mean, my sons are 18 and 16. I can pretty much chat to them, but the vocabulary I'm losing it. It's all, sometimes I watch some of my vlogs back and I'm like, you sound so stupid. Maybe people think I am stupid, but I don't know. Just the words, they're just missing. Even if when I'm talking to you now, I'm thinking it's difficult because I'm speaking English, but in my head, I'm talking German, and the sentences, how you speak them or how you build them are completely backwards.
I personally like that about your channel because
it's frustrating.
Yeah, it must be for you, yeah. But for me as a viewer, never mind you, Shaun. It's not about you. For me as a viewer, I quite like it because it emphasizes the fact that you are an expat who is now totally ingratiated into life in Germany, and I don't know. I quite like the fact that you can hear the Germanisms coming out, even though that you're playing like a Brit and you're speaking English. I can hear the Germanisms coming out. The German sort of, as you said, structure.
Yeah, I mean, I try to. But sometimes I just get totally lost, and even when I'm thinking of something to say, I'm talking about something. Sometimes the words are just gone. They're just not there, and they're missing. I mean, obviously nobody sees that in the videos because you can edit that out. But so much footage has just been chopped out because I've just stopped and thinking, you can't even speak your own language anymore. You bellend.
That's your bloopers for the end of the vid. For that sort of point.
Yeah, I mean, I do
bung, or whatever that stays.
I do bung a few. I do bung a few in. Gaz
is big for that, isn't he? Like Bulldog Gaz. We have a little WhatsApp group between Shaun, Andy Mancam, myself, and Gaz, Bulldog Gaz. And Gaz is another expat that's been over, but he's been over in Germany for a long time, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been longer than I have. He's been over 30 years for sure.
He's like full on German, really now. In that he does forget the British. He obviously thinks and pretty much lives in German, and he does struggle sometimes, doesn't he, with the Brit sense of humour and how we say things. Sometimes he doesn't get it.
I never used to, but maybe possibly the last 5 years or so, I can probably speak better German than I can English, if I'm honest.
Right, clan members, that is a call. That is a call from the man. We need to get over there and read Brit. Likeable Rider.
Get over.
Come over.
Let's get that done.
We're going to come over with Bulldogs, Union Jack shorts, white vests. Oh, yes. Everything for you. Right, Christian's got another question. Bruce, you mentioned previously you want to cycle around the UK. Is that still on? I definitely, hands up, definitely still want to do it. It's just logistics at the moment. It's trying to find time when I can disappear for that length of time, because that's going to take me a long time to cycle around the UK. So I can't leave my wife for that length of time, just looking after the dog because she's got a job as well. And how am I going to keep my job going for that? How am I going to create content? Because I'm sure most people in the chat who follow the channel would get very bored of me just chucking up another vid of me being on a bike. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. Tell me. Tell me. I want to do it, but I just don't know how I can do it at the moment, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I want to do it, but I don't know how to keep the channel alive whilst I do it.
Yeah, you'd have had to have backed up your content for at least a month before in advance. So you'd have videos chucking out while you were away.
I think it would take me 2 or 3 months to cycle around the UK personally for me. Because you might not have noticed, Shaun, but I'm not exactly an athlete.
No, mate, I didn't notice.
Good lad. Christian says, keep living. We will do, Bob. No worries. Hopefully. Harley, how's it, guys? A question for the two of you. Does life require a purpose? Awesome. I love these type of questions. This is where we get all Rogan. We need a spliff. Right. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
I think it does. Although, I think it depends on what type of person you are. Do you not? Because there are people out there who are perfectly happy just to ebb and flow along with the current of life. They're not fussed. They're not fussed about having any like goals. They're not fussed about having any targets. They just roll with life. And fine. If you're happy doing that, fine.
Yeah, if it works.
But I do. I don't know about you, but I need to set my sight on goals. I need to set targets and work towards stuff. Yeah,
I have to know what I'm working for, or push, or not even working, pushing. Why am I doing what I'm doing now? What's it going to get? What am I going to get out of it? Where's it going to take me? Yeah, 100%.
I just feel massively lost. I get really like lost and a bit down, to be honest. If I'm just like, what am I doing with myself? What are we doing today? Some days I like to just sit in my pants and do hee-haw, but overall, I like to have a little bit of direction in life, for sure. Yeah.
Well, this week's a perfect example for me. Having Corona and just been at home for a week and not being able to do it, not being allowed to do anything, absolute disaster for me.
Is it?
Although I've been pottering about and pissing around and doing odd jobs and whatnot at home, totally lost. Totally. Although I always wished it, I thought, because even since COVID kicked off and people were losing jobs, which is terrible. And for me, I ended up having to work more.
Yeah.
And I never had any time off. People were getting Corona, having their week or 2 weeks off back when it was 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I was thinking, what have I got to do? I mean, my kids they got it a few months ago. And I was licking the kids' spoons, drinking out of their cups, kissing. I was like, "Come on, this is my opportunity." Although it may seem people, apologies if people that have had it and been really ill with it.
Yeah,
I don't mean bad by it, but I was thinking, when can I get a break? I'm just working my ass off.
Yeah,
but I end up getting it. Okay, I was ill for a couple of days or I was in bed, but no, I was so lost. I've never had a solid week where I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I can't meet with anybody. And it's been awful. I've just been sat in here.
Yeah, horrific. I always, like, my wife will say, right, just take a break, take a break from editing. We'll go away and we'll spend a day, we'll go away and do something. I always find that sort of break does me no good whatsoever, because if I'm away doing stuff, but in my head, I know that I should be doing something. I'm just like, why am I here? I should be there doing that. We'll go away on a holiday. We'll go and visit friends in Wales or something for the weekend. And the whole time in my mind, I'm just thinking, I've got this to do. I've got that to do. I need to be doing that. And to be honest, when in that situation, I'm far better being back, getting on with the work, because you can't be in the zone with your friends or on holiday when you're thinking I need to be working.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, it sounds really selfish, but I can sort of only find peace when I'm on my Todd. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I've got a few kids knocking around here. I've got 4 and 2 dogs and a wife. It's always action. It's always action packed here, and it's never really, if I go out on my bike or I go out walk with the dogs, that's the time I can sort of really woosah.
Yeah. I think a lot of blokes are like that, or maybe not just blokes, but maybe lassies are like that. Some lassies are like that, but in my experience, amongst my mates, it's the blokes who are like, I can be perfectly happy just by myself. I can be perfectly happy by myself, just, doing my thing. Yeah. And all their other halves are just like, what? No, I'd much rather be with family or friends or doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we're all like, no, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone and let me crack on.
Don't like people.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's age. Old and grumpy.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird because I love the social side, like this clan, Patreon, for example. We're away this weekend. We've got a Patreon meetup down in Devon this weekend, and I can't wait. I love that.
My neck of the woods.
Yeah. Well, we're in. Where are we? Bideford. We're meeting up, and then we're doing big, massive. Well, most of North, and in fact, I think we're going down to Land's End at some point. It's two lads within the clan, actually. Brian and Mike. Thank you very much. They said, look, can we organise the next get together? We'll do the route. We'll plan everything. And I'm like, happy days. Yeah, brilliant. Because it means I don't need to do it. So fantastic. Yeah. So they've planned it all. And I love that side of it where it brings everybody together and you have a real good social get together. And there's people that come away who've never done that before. The amount of times I meet people who their whole biking careers has been from home to the local calf 3 or 4 months of the year at a weekend. That's it. They've never done anything else. And then all of a sudden, for one reason or another, they get involved in, say, this with Teapot, and they start doing they'll do a weekend somewhere. And they're just like, oh, wow, God, there's a whole different side to this biking.
Champion.
And then you're like, well, come and we'll do Wales, or we'll go to Scotland, or we'll go across and do France, Germany, Spain. When I take people on tours to Spain, I get people turning up who've never been out the UK before on a bike, and they're just mind blown. It's like, wow, this is so easy. I didn't know it was this easy. I love that side of it, but I also love just being left alone so I can sit in my pants and do my own thing.
Yeah, I mean, on a sort of a vlogger's perspective, it's easier when you're on your own to be making content when you're on your Todd, because if you're with others, you can't really sort of do what you want to do or stop and film what you want to film. Yeah, it's a bit more difficult, isn't it? But yeah, and that's why I've said, for this year, I've 3 years ago, I went on my first solo Euro tour. Other than that, all the years before, I've always been with others. Mm-hmm. And it was the first solo trip, and I was a bit dubious about doing it. I thought, this is going to suck. But, I'd booked with other people, and they cried off at the last minute. Yeah. I said to me, Mrs., I've been looking forward to it for so long, because she was like, why? Oh, you don't want to go on your own. You don't want to go on your own. It'd be crap. And I was like, yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go on my own. And I had the best time. I rode so much. I rode from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Nobody's whinging in your ear. Oh, it's too long, or I didn't have enough breaks or whatnot. You don't have any of that. You can film what you want, photograph what you want. And I had the best time, and I made the best or the better content for it. So that's what this year I'm definitely going on me Jack and Jones. I'm just going to make some good stuff.
Don't take it the wrong way, mate, but you can see you need that. You can see you need just a bit of your time and off you go.
I'm done. Oh.
You do need it. You're like, I haven't done it for so long. I have not just gone and ridden by myself on a trip in Europe for so long, and I'm really looking forward to this road trip.
Call it a holiday.
Yeah,
nothing else.
It's a working holiday.
Nothing else is powering you to do something. Nobody's There's no products. There's no review. It's just pissing off on your own holiday. Okay, you film it so everybody can sort of see what you're doing. But I think you can make way better content if you're on your Todd.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's nice though to have the interaction with people. I do some stuff with lamb chops, and we do the big hunt thing, and that seems to work really well because we have the interaction together. Yeah, it's good. It's just two blokes taking a piss out of each other and having a laugh. Where have you gone? I'm still here. Are you there? Still there? Yeah, I can see you. Can you hear me? Hello? Shaun? I can see you.
Yeah, it's got a bit rough. You there?
I'm there. Yeah. Can you see me?
Your internet for Gundog is instabil. Okay, sorry, I'm back on. I can hear now.
Schnell!
Something came up in German there.
All right. Yeah, it was all fine this end, mate. All no problems here.
My issue.
What were we talking about? I've totally forgotten.
traveling solo and doing your own thing.
Yeah. I haven't done that in so long, and I'm really looking forward to. I'm meeting everyone in Slovenia, so I'm really looking forward to the sort of 2-day ride to get there just by myself.
I was going to say, even if it's just, when you get there, you're going to be with people, but even just, a day or two to get there and you're on your Todd and you can piss around and do what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
It helps no end.
Massively. I'll probably end up just taking just motorway all the way there and then just book into a hotel.
Oh, no. Motorway?
No, I won't.
Wash your mouth out.
I won't, don't worry. Right, dude, can I do another sponsor shout out?
Do.
Excellent. Right, folks, we are also sponsored by Inov. Now, Inov also sponsor the main TeapotOne channel. They do the dashcam footage. Not dashcam footage, dashcam cameras. I run the K5 on my bike, which is the flagship 4K at the front, 1080 at the rear. They do a K3, it's 1080 front and rear. That has GPS overlay on it. It's got a remote. It's got external mics, so you can even vlog. A couple of my vids I've actually vlogged using that mic. Really great system. The camera quality, picture quality is not as good as the likes of a GoPro or the Insta360. It's never going to compete in terms of resolution for that. But in terms of like an insurance backup, it's invaluable. When you need it, you need it. That's all I'm going to say. If you get involved in an accident, the first thing they're going to ask is, do you have CCTV? And if you have one of these systems fitted, they're 24/7. The second you turn the ignition on, they switch on, they start recording. They've even got parking modes, so we enable that. If you walk away from the bike, say you go to the calf, you park the bike up. If anything hits your bike whilst you're not with it, then if you have the parking mode switched on, then the system will automatically kick in, start recording out the front and rear cameras there. So it's a great bit of kit. I have genuinely had a couple of people contacting me and say, I bought one of those, like the K2, the K3 or the K5 systems, and I got hit by another car. One guy went to court and they were going to go 50-50 at court. And then once they produced the CCTV footage off of the Inov, it proved he was totally not at fault and it went 100% in his favor. So, it pays for itself in cases like that. If you head to Inov, INNOVV.co.uk, and then use the code TEAPOT, TEAPOT, you'll get 5% off of any of the cameras that they do in Inov, in Techologic, which do this is the, which one's this? This is the DC1, and then they have the XV1 sort of helmet cameras as well. And then there's another one which is more car orientated. I think it's called Viofilm or Viofom. We've got 3 different brands anyway over there. You get 5% off of any of those cameras. So a massive shout out to Inov. Right, I'm back with you, Shaun. Are you there, bud?
Hey.
Right, you're
Can
there.
I fill me beer up now?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. It's falling asleep, sorry.
I didn't want to make a noise.
Don't worry about it. Right, we have 4 more Patreon questions, and then I think there's some over on Instagram as well. Are you all right for time?
Yeah, I'm open end.
Excellent. I have heard that. Ollie Rye. How you doing, Ollie?
This would be a lass when my internet doesn't shit its pants.
Yeah, your internet's a bit ropey tonight, isn't it? Oh, you've frozen.
Hello.
Hello.
Germany calling England. You still there?
Hello. Hello, Germany.
I think my internet's shat its pants.
Yeah, it's not great tonight, is it? What's going on?
No. Don't know.
Right. Ollie Ray.
All right.
Evening, gents. Great to see Shaun back on the pod. First question. You're both sharing a tent, but you fucked up and brought the wrong sleeping bags for the cold night weather. Who is going to be the little spoon?
I missed that. We were sharing a tent and somebody fucked up and forgot to bring a spoon.
We brought the wrong sleeping bags for the cold nights. Who's going to be the little spoon?
Oh dear.
So who goes at the front of the spoon? I think just like sheer, like just in terms of dimensions, I'd have to be at the back, Shaun, I would think. Because if you're at the back and I'm the front spoon, You're just going to be a little shell at the back. Whereas if I go, I can keep you all warm, Shaun.
Why do people dream up these questions? I don't know why people. How does that come into somebody's head? Me and Bruce spooning in a tent.
Doesn't matter. It's come into their head, and now we have to deal with the question. Come on.
Okay, I'm in the tree.
Yeah. It's going to dig a very deep hole in the ground.
And lie in it.
Yeah. Question 2 for Shaun. I should have 5 days free in a couple of months and plan on heading towards Germany. Is there anything you'd recommend? Yes, Italy.
Further south. Yeah, 5 days. I mean, we've spoken about this a few times. 5 days isn't an ideal amount of time to ride to the places that people see in my content. Most of the time when people ride over like you have and others, you know, they're going through Belgium, Holland, and into sort of Germany towards Black Forest, the Eifel, the Mosel. That's the general sort of direction that people go. But there's so many places, you know, where I ride: Sauerland, Weserbergerland, Harz, Thüringer Wald. It's all further inland. It's all further east. Yeah, and for me, I mean, I've been to the Eifel and the Mosel. I've ridden it a few times. It's amazing, but it is a touristy place, and you may see the odd policeman there more so than anywhere else. I would advise, if you've got the time, to go further inland or further east into Germany, Midlands, and then head south.
Yeah.
And sort of avoid the general area that people ride to when they come over. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the places I ride is the way that I would recommend.
Yeah, everyone heads for like Black Forest and the B500, and you know, whilst it's good, as Shaun says, it's hammered by old Bill now. You know, the glory days of spanking the nuts up and down the B500 are kind of gone, because a lot of it's much reduced limits on there now, and there is a lot of police action because of the glory days when people absolutely spanked it up and down the B500. So
I mean, you can get. I mean, I went there 3 years ago, and it wasn't in high season, and I didn't see anybody.
Happy days.
You know, generally in high season, when people come over for summer, most people are coming through Germany to get to the Alps, whether the people are going to Switzerland, Austria, Italy, or whatever. Most people tend to sort of cut the corner, as I said, through to Eifel and Mosel, into the Black Forest, and then into the Alps. But if you really wanted to come to Germany, then take a bit longer and go a bit further in country, and you'll have a whale of a time.
It's almost worth just sacrificing the day just to jump on the motorways and eat the mileage to get there, and then you can have more fun once you get to sort of middle and eastern Germany, for sure. And the autobahns, once you get on the autobahn, it can be a bit of fun anyway, because, you know, we have nothing like that in the UK, where, you know, what you need to bear in mind is on the autobahn, just because you're on the autobahn doesn't mean to say you can open it up. There are sections of the autobahn that are unrestricted, and that's where there's no speed limit.
And there's not many nowadays.
Yeah, so that was what caught me out. There is actually a speed limit on a lot of the autobahn. You just have to know which bits are the unrestricted.
From where I live towards Osnabrück, it's all unrestricted on the A30.
Happy days. What's the fastest you've got?
I did 280 on my GT. I did 280 or
160 odd, 165 miles an hour.
Yeah, ish.
Something like that. What's 300 kilometers is 200 mile an hour, isn't it? Is that right?
Oh God, I'd have to Google that.
Roughly.
Yeah,
I've maxed out the GS, which was 139 mile an hour, and I maxed out my Gixxer 186. Just
I mean, I've done it with. I mean, I haven't done it on the new bike yet, but pretty much. I mean, as I said, from my place, it's only 5 minutes to the motorway, and it's all unrestricted for a good few Ks. I've always just to see what each bike that I've had will do. Yeah. On the latest Super Duke, I couldn't hang on. 260 I was doing maybe ish, and I was struggling to blooming stay on the thing.
What, on the Super Adventure S?
No, on the 1290R.
Oh, the Super Duke R, right?
With no wind protection, but
that Super Adventure S, I had about 163 out of that, That's phenomenal. Okay. What a machine. Insane. It just felt like it wanted to go and go and go.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was 1:63 was on the clock. It was nuts.
Okay. Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah. On a racetrack, obviously, people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Ollie, yeah, do that, mate. Head inland in Germany and further east. I think a lot of the time we forget in the UK how big Germany is.
Yeah, it's massive.
A bloody massive country. Massive.
And it's endless. I mean, from north of where I live, I mean, I'm towards Osnabrück, slightly east of Osnabrück. Anything north of that, Hanover, north of that, it's pretty shit. But anything below that, there's so many places to go. And, a lot of people, as I said, they don't know, much about it or where to go. But if you've got the time to do it, then give me a shout and go further inland.
Right. Well, we're going to do a clan meet, mate. We're going to do it.
Absolutely.
Come over.
None of this Moser Eiffel business.
Yeah, exactly. None of that rubbish. Right. Chris Kemp. Hi, guys. Hope you're both well. All good. Thank you, Chris. Towards the end of the last podcast with Shaun, you got all Bruce Rogan on us. Well, so let's hear some more. Has Shaun had any alien, I love it, had any alien encounters since? And when we colonize Mars, which bikes should we take and which should be left behind? Yes. Cheers, Chris. Come on then. Let's get all supernatural.
No, I've not had
It's not supernatural. Aliens.
I've not had any alien experiences, no.
Did we chat about aliens before? Was it just ghosts?
No, I think we had aliens as well.
Did we? What was your take on aliens? Because you were very dismissive about ghosts, from what I recall.
Yeah, well, until I see one, I don't believe it.
I get it.
But yeah, aliens. I mean, I'd like to think that there were, and I do like to watch the odd, Area 57 nonsense, or it is interesting if somebody comes up with something or a sighting or whatever. Obviously everybody's interested in that and watching that sort of thing. I kind of like to think that there was, but whether there is, I don't know. Hard to say until you can the same with ghosts, until you actually see one for yourself or actually witness something, then it's a bit more difficult to believe. But obviously all the stuff that you see online and whatnot, obviously most of it's manipulated.
Yeah, bollocks.
So until I see something for myself, I can't really comment.
I kind of think, I'm not so sure if it's like extraterrestrial life. I think it's just, I think it's us in the future and we're able to come back. Because would you not? I would want to. If you had the ability, like we can jump on a plane and we can fly to another part of the world. If you could just, jump on a machine and
to Mars.
No, but like, okay, let's go back and wow, what was it like in the Second World War, or what was it like in medieval times, or
time travel?
Back, like
Marty McFly it.
Yeah. Would you not want to do that if you had the option? That's kind of what I think it maybe is. It's us.
Yeah, time travel. That's
centuries ahead or whenever it happens.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Because like Joe Rogan talks about this a lot. The stereotypical image you get of an alien is this peely-wally body with a great big massive head, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he talks about this a lot. If you look at the evolution of the human species over time, we've gone from being big ape-like, says me, but big ape-like creatures, with big muscle mass and small brains, to now our brains are much bigger than they used to be, and people are getting smaller. People are like, the muscle mass in the general populace is getting smaller. Certainly as we become less physically active in terms of day to day, we're not out ploughing fields, most of us. We're not lifting stuff. Most of us spend our life fairly sedentary compared to what, say, grandfathers used to do, or generations before did. You could see that if you put that forward 100, 200, 500, 1,000 years into the future, would that not be the way we're going to go, where the muscle mass isn't going to be particularly big and the brains keep... Do you not think? No?
Oh, dear.
I don't know where the green comes in. I don't know where the little green man thing comes in.
If I'm honest, I don't give it a second thought, that sort of stuff.
You're very practically minded, aren't you?
Possibly.
Yeah, you are. You can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but when do you get the time to think about that sort of stuff?
All the time. I listen to Rogan like in the mornings when I'm on the rowing machine. I'm listening to like Joe Rogan or just a podcast. When I walk the dog a couple of times a day, so I'm listening then. If I'm waiting for stuff to render and I'm not, if I'm not listening, like if I'm not watching a video and I'm not editing a video, but
you're having an alien experience.
Yeah, say I'm doing admin, like I'm doing the accounts or I'm going through emails. I'll just have a podcast playing in the background. Pardon me.
Yeah.
So I'm always listening to stuff like this, like Rogan and this guy Lex Ferryman. I listen to him. God, there's loads of them that I listen to. But a lot of them, like if Joe, a lot of them are pals with Joe Rogan. So if he chats about stuff, a lot of them tend to bring the same similar topics up. So I do listen to a lot of it. I don't know. Right, next part of his question. When we colonize Mars, which bike should we take and which should be left behind?
Well, I don't think there's much scope for riding bikes on Mars, is there?
Why not?
It's all dune buggies.
I wouldn't take a KTM because the dealer network's bad enough on Earth. So, although a KTM would be a lot of fun, no.
Oh, there'd be some sort of dune bike. You can't compare, can you? You can't take anything that we've got here on Mars.
Yeah, it would have to be just the old faithful, wouldn't it? Like a Honda CRF 250, Honda CRF 300 or something like that.
Unbreakable.
Yeah. Just some little off-roady type bike. That would have to do. Do you think we're going to get to Mars in our lifetime?
No.
Do you know?
Ours, not ours. Not a chance.
I think we might get somebody there in our lifetime, but I don't think they'll set up like a little community in our lifetime. You never know.
I did enjoy The Martian with Matt Damon. That's a cracking film.
It's a great film. It's entirely possible, isn't it? Grow potatoes out your own shit. No problem.
Yeah, he was rocking it.
Yeah, I do like that film. It's a good film.
Did he blew his shit up?
That's true. Well, see, the thing is that we now have people like Elon Musk on the scene who just makes shit happen. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's not going to happen in our time.
Do you not think?
No.
He said he's confident that within, I think it's 10 years, or it might even be 5, that we will have a community on Mars. And by that, he means like, astronaut type people living on a Matt Damon type community on Mars.
Yeah, possibly, but it's no life to live, is it? It's nothing that we can relate to.
It's not for us. It's not for us to worry about. But
no.
You've got to start somewhere, don't you?
Yeah.
See where it goes from there. Who knows? It's not your cup of tea, is it? I could tell this isn't your cup of tea. You don't like this stuff.
I don't like it.
Debbie Clegg. Hello, what's the views on the best and worst rules of the road concerning bikers? Question for Shaun about German roads. So for you, Shaun, about German roads, what's the best and worst rules of the road for bikers? And then the same for me about UK roads.
The newest sort of laws that have come in over the last couple of years, or that they're trying to even push as of last year, was the banning bikers on weekends and bank holidays.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a kick in the swingers. And even although the other rules that are in place, that's not in place, but some places, the odd road, but only a sort of a segment of a road possibly. But some of the stuff that's been in place for a bit longer is that if you come to a stretch of road that's normally 100 km/h speed limit, it's 70 for bikers.
Why?
Because it's possibly a high accident-prone area. So 100 kilometres for cars, but it's de-restricted 70 if you're a biker and you're travelling on the same road. I think that's pretty shite. But that's in place in some places. Again, it sounds worse than what it is, and people have sort of hyped it up a bit over the top. I don't know. Me and Andy have been bowled through a few of them out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody was there. We still rode 100. I mean, obviously you got to keep it sensible, but I think that isn't an awfully racist thing to bring in. I don't know.
Yes, it is, but you know, apparently that type of action is totally acceptable if not much fuss is made up about it. You know,
biking's been dangerous since it was ever invented.
Of course it is. That's why we do it. The danger is part of the appeal.
We know the risk, and why should we have a 30k or reduced speed limit just because we ride a bike? Because we might fly off and hit a tree.
I hate that. I hate the nanny state type of thing when people, it's for your own good. Fuck off. I'll make the decision. Yeah. As long as I'm not affecting anybody else and harming anybody else, I'll make the decision if I'm going to do an activity which could, you know, kill me or likewise.
And again, it's people that are probably going through that area at 160k an hour.
Yes.
And that is creaming in.
Yeah.
Or he's had an accident there. It was horrific. And it's happening every weekend. Let's reduce it. But if you ride normally at 100k an hour, you ain't going to come off.
Yeah.
And obviously there are factors that, you know, we don't want to, you know, go into too much detail. There's factors that, you know, you can't avoid and you're going to have an accident. But as I said, the majority of people that do crash, I would have said majority of the time, there's something else happening there's something else going on there rather than
just speed. Yeah. Oh, you're frozen. Are you there?
No sort of speed.
Oh, he's back. Oh, no, he's gone again. England calling Germany. England calling Germany. Come in, Danny boy.
Abiding by this.
Shaun, put another 50p in the meter, mate. Your broadband shit. Hang on, folks. We'll get there.
Speed limit, so to speak. But, yeah.
Oh, hang on. He's gone. Hang on, people. I'll wave for the edit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear. Oh, you're back. Hi, how are you?
God.
Right, he's back.
It all went to pot.
Yeah, it did. You just disappeared. You sort of froze on us.
Oh, it's still bad.
You need to put 50p in your broadband meter. Hello? Are you there?
You've frozen.
I can hear you and see you ish.
Oh dear.
Is it you or me?
Yeah, the internet for me.
I've got full signal over here.
Is inched up here. Are we there? Are we back? Are we back? I can hear you now.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're here there. Right, let me wave for the camera. Right, cut that bit out. Right.
Pump.
Where were we? What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Thanks for
answer the question about
from Debbie.
Yeah.
Worst rules of the road in Germany and the UK. Do you know what I hate about the UK is solid white lines and where they've brought, like, roads that used to be national speed limit are now 50s or 40s. And what used to be 50s and 40s is now 30s or 20s. I get it in the little villages and the towns. I'm totally behind that, 30 mile an hour. And I get when there's schools and it's during the school crossing times, drop it to 20. No problem. I've got no issues with that whatsoever. But it seems to be, certainly down here in the southeast of England, there are so many roads.
About reducing speed limit.
Yeah, so many roads are now 40 mile an hour, which could quite easily be national, 60 mile an hour. And there's solid, double white, solid lines everywhere stopping you from overtaking. And half the time there's no reason. You know, I get it when there's options, when you have little homes and fields with, you know, traffic farm traffic that might come in off the field. I get that. But a lot of the time there's not. It's just solid white lines.
Yeah.
That just annoys me. Anyway.
There we go.
Debbie's got another question, if I'm allowed. If you lost a bet and had to have an animal tattoo, what animal would it be and why?
Animal tattoo.
Yeah. Plainly be a unicorn you'd get, obviously.
Yeah. God. I don't know. You?
That's not an answer. You've got to have an answer.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
It'd have to be a Loch Ness. I'm not telling you where I'd get it, but it'd have to be a Loch Ness. It'd have to be a Nessie. Someone would be like, why have you got a tadpole on it? That's Nessie. Oh, it looks like a little tadpole.
Tadpole, yeah, that'd be cool. An animal tattoo.
He didn't get it. Never mind.
I did get it, Bruce. Yeah.
Come on, then. What animal?
Oh, God. I don't do well with this sort of stuff.
You don't do. This is not your cup of tea in the slightest.
No.
You need to be steamboats to do this sort of stuff.
Yeah, probably even that wouldn't help, I don't think. I don't know, I'd probably say something really shitty. What would you get? An animal tattoo?
Yeah.
Although I saw one on the Graham Norton show. Did you ever see the interview with Mark Wahlberg and they were going through crappy tattoos? And a guy had a cat on his belly, but its arsehole was his belly button. And the cat was sort of turning round and looking
that
at
appealed, did it? That appealed.
Showing its arsehole. I thought that is cool.
Can you imagine being away on a beach holiday with a wife and kids?
Oh, and the guy must have been a bit ginger, so he had kind of sort of orange hair on his belly, yeah. So it was kind of rusty, rusty starfish. It was horrific. I thought I couldn't stop laughing. Oh, that is amazing. Who would do that? There you go.
Oh, genius. Right, there you go then. Cheers to that, Debbie. Right. Are you okay for time, mate? Yeah. Hello. Are you there, Shaun? He froze again. Earth calling Shaun.
Yeah.
Right, he's there. Right, cool. Right, I'll do the last sponsor shout out, and then we can move to Instagram. So we are also sponsored by the Influencer Store.
Yeah, I'll just
sorry, go on, mate.
Let's go for a pee.
All right, no worries. Keep popping up a pee. Right, folks, we're also sponsored by the Influencer Store. The Influencer Store helps you build your brand, big or small, providing you with a solution and apparel. We help you to increase your fan base while supporting you with starting your own influencer clothing line with nothing more than just an idea or design. And there are no hidden costs. For more info, come check us out at theinfluencerstore.co.uk or drop us an email at online@influencerstore.co.uk for more information. Now, said it before, Influencer Store, they're the ones who handle all my merch over at TeapotOne.com. So if you head there, go to the store, the shop, then all the merch there is handled by Roger and Charlotte over at the Influencer Store. Well, yeah, Shaun's not a fan of these questions, is he? He's not a fan of these sort of alien and ghost and, that type of, I love that type of question. So keep them coming for me. I love all that. I'm trying to get I would like some sort of like paranormal investigator or something to come on and have a chat about it. I would love that. So if anybody knows anybody that they could recommend, because there's so many, it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? There's so many crackpots out there because there must be serious people that investigate ghosts. But I would love to chat to somebody who has genuine experience in it. And, I would love to go through all that, to chat to people about it. So if anyone can recommend anybody, please let me know and we'll see what we can do. Right, well, seeing as Shaun's not back yet, I may as well give another little shout out. Oh, no, here he is. We'll save that for later. Hang on. Hiya.
Hello.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, we'll move across to Instagram then. We've got a couple of questions. Well, we've got more than a couple. We've got some questions over there to go through. So that's at TeapotOne Insta. I'll leave links for all Shaun's socials down below as well. First one, GW McTavish. Do you think your next bike will be a GS or maybe a Goldwing?
Was that to you or to me?
Well, both, I think.
Oh, God, no.
Not a chance. Have you ridden a Goldwing yet?
No, and I'm not sure I would want to.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. On twisty roads. Boring as sin on straight roads. Motorways, dual cut is just boring. But put it on backcountry, being like twisty roads, it is phenomenal. It is incredible, honestly. Loved it. I've hopefully got another one coming this year at some point. For me, I think my next bike's going to be the new 1300 GS when that comes out. So, yeah, that'll probably be my next one. Although I don't want to get the first generation of the new 1300 because there's bound to be issues. So I might get another 1250 or just another bike.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. It's just something that just... Sorry, I missed half of that. My internet was gone down the pant.
For me, I will get the new 1300 GS when that comes out, the 1300M or whatever it's called.
Is that coming?
Yeah, I think that'll be next year. That's coming out. But I don't want to get the first generation of it because there's always issues, isn't there? When the first new model comes out of a bike, then there's always issues. So I might end up getting something else for 2 or 3 years and then chop it in and get the new 1300. Highland Ewan, looking forward to this, Bruce. My question for Shaun, how has the BMW customer service been after the switch from KTM? Cheers to you both. Have you come home?
Yes, definitely. Second to none. I mean, it's night and day difference. So I'm chuffed to bits. Yes, the KTMs, although I was with KTM for 4 years, amazing time. The bikes are so much fun. Yeah. Yeah, there's something missing there, and it's a shame. But I'm happy to be back with BMW. As I said, mine had an issue, and I got to sort it out. Even when I took it in for service, and when it was finished, it was pissing it down with rain when they finished. And they phoned me and said, "Your bike's finished, Shaun. Should we? If you don't want to come and pick it up in the rain, we can bring it to you in a van, no problem." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." Yeah, I'm glad I'm back.
People always moan about the cost of like BMW. I don't find the service, certainly not for the tractor. I don't find the tractor expensive. But I think if you've got like an inline 4 type of bike, then yeah, that can be a lot more expensive. Parts are more expensive. But you're paying for the service. You're paying for the customer service, the whole, the nice showroom that's the same across wherever you go in the world. When you go in a proper BMW dealership. Yeah. It's the same, isn't it? It's all the same.
But BMW is cheaper. I mean, I've tallied up the service costs that I've had over the years from KTMs, and I had the 2016 XR. I paid 160 euros for my first service on the new XR. I paid 330 for the first service on both of my KTMs.
Wow!
And the sort of the 15,000 kilometer service was over $500 on both KTMs.
Bloody hell.
And on BMW was like 280 euros. The servicing costs are much cheaper.
My servicing costs of the tractor, of the GS, are a lot less than my Gixxer. A lot less than a Gixxer. But where the BMW is more expensive is parts. So like if you have to buy like an OEM bit fairing, the OEM headlight, then you're paying through your arse for that. The normal servicing, cheaper.
If you've got a new bike and it's under guarantee, I mean, my new rear shock was $2,500 just for the shock. You wouldn't want to pay that if it was out of warranty. But
the GS headlight, just the headlight, £1,000 just for the headlight. Crazy, but. Yeah, as you said, for your normal running costs for the service, it is cheaper.
Yeah.
Anyway, next one, Yorkshire Hero. Keep up the great work, both of you. If you had to choose to get rid of the bike for a year and tour the world with your missus, or get rid of the missus and tour the world on your bike? Which would you choose and why? Oh.
My missus doesn't watch these, so I'd get rid of the missus.
Yeah, I don't think mine will. I don't think mine would either. I think my wife knows.
Yeah, without a doubt. Been the walked off.
We just like our own space, don't we, Shaun? That's
absolutely.
Nobody tell Mrs. Teapot, please. Motor MA77. Oh no, it's the ex-Austrian, now German. Evening, lads. Hope you're both well. Shaun, if you could take away the KTM faults and compare the bike with the XR, which one would win? Twin or four-cylinder? What's more fun?
Well, the twins, the KTMs.
Yeah. It's much more engaging bike, isn't it?
Yeah. If you could take away the issues that I've had and over the years, then yeah, without a doubt, it's the best. It's the most fun and best bikes I've had too. Without a doubt, best bikes I've ridden, especially that R. The R is amazing.
I still miss it. I still miss it. I still miss that bike. I loved it. Absolutely. Well, it made me feel like I used to feel when I first started riding.
Yeah.
I wanted to get out on the bike, and when I walked away from it, I turned around and looked at it. Awesome.
The one thing I've found is that, as I don't miss, obviously I rode that or both of those bikes through the winter, and the tyres that you were on, especially the R, was on a sport tyre, and I was trying to hustle that thing in -5 degrees in the pissing rain through touring of Ad with Andy, and I'm trying to ride it on sport tyres. I mean, that was a disaster. In that respect, it definitely knocked my confidence, that bike. I mean, I got rid of that towards the end of when did I get rid of it? No, it was towards the start of a new season, but I'd ridden it through the winter, and it definitely knocked my confidence, that bike. I mean, did it? Yeah. Well, not the bike, but the tyres that I was on. It was impossible to ride in the colder temperatures, but it was all tyres. Possibly not the best bike for me to be riding all round on, but it was the most fun I'd had on a bike in a long time. So
it does make me laugh, because like the first thing I'll do with a bike is just whack on a set of modern sport touring tires. So whether you're using the Dunlop Meridian Mutants Road Smart 4s that are on now, using the Michelin Road 5, Road 6s they're on now, whatever it is that you put on, just a modern sport touring tire. And people go, oh no, I need sticky tires. You're like, you're a fucking asshole. Like people, like the race schools, like the race schools that you go to use sport touring tires. They're perfectly capable. Like they get really hot very quick. They cope with cold temperatures. There's just, unless you're like competition race style standard, sport touring tires is all you need. It does the job.
But that was the issue with that bike, is that hardly anybody made
because of the rear.
200 rear. People had jammed 190s on them. But again, that's not legal here. You're only obviously you're only permitted to put the tires on that are in the vehicle docks. And although Andy was on some Avon Spirit STs, was it?
Yeah.
They did offer a 200 rear, but I never got round to. And what did I get? I think I had a set of the S22s that were on there, and then I stuck on some Pilot Roads, I think, from Michelin. But again, sport tires, not sport touring, which were slightly better. I got on better with them than the S22s.
No, the Road 5s are sport touring. They're the sport touring tires from Michelin.
Yeah, but they didn't make a 200 rear, so
they didn't do 200. Yeah, right.
No, so I couldn't get them on. So. So I stuck with sports tires. So, but again, like I said, it kind of tarnished my confidence over the winter months. So
it's going to at -5, yeah.
Yeah, I had a nightmare. I mean, how I didn't crash, I don't know. I mean, I went straight on a couple of bends 2 or 3 times when I was out with Andy. I mean, it was horrific. I mean, we we really did have a sodden time, and it pissed it down for 3 days, and it was -5. I think the worst time we had.
What the hell were you out riding in that for anyway?
Yeah, we thought it'd be funny. I mean, it was funny for the viewer. I mean, we had a few good vids out of it. It was amusing to watch, but we definitely had a crappy time.
-5, Jesus.
Oh, it was terrible.
I've ridden in cold temperatures, but that's just out of necessity where you've got to get somewhere. I've never chosen to go on a trip.
Yeah.
Like but even, in the winter.
Even when I bought that, the 1290R, even at the dealership, I mean, I bought it off season, and they said to me when I bought it, when you ride that bike home, I don't know, it was probably, it was maybe 10 degrees or something. He said, this tire, you can't turn it on in the cold temperatures, so don't even try. And it was a disaster. That was the S22s. Amazing tire in the summer, but winter, disaster. And how I didn't crash that bike in the winter, I don't know.
How come you got rid of the R then? What was wrong with that? I can't remember.
Well, I didn't have that many problems with it, but I had an issue with the front wheel and the brake disc. There was a
You're frozen, bud. Bugger. Hello? Hello? Oh. Shawnee boy.
The tolerance on the front end, and an issue, but we have to send your wheel down to dinner. I'm here. You there?
Yeah, you just caught up. You're there now. You've come in. You've just come back in.
Verbindung is instabil. Am I coming now?
Yeah, you are, mate. Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, I had an issue with the front end. Did you get that bit?
Yeah, it's intolerances or something.
Yeah, from between the brake disc and the wheel. And they wanted the wheel to be sent down to KTM in Austria, and that was going to take up to sort of 8 weeks or something ridiculous. No courtesy bikes, no nothing. And I was like, oh. And I'd had a few other issues, and I was unhappy with the personnel at the dealership. They were pretty unfriendly and unhelpful. But even, mates that I had there was 3 or 4 other mates I used to ride with. They all had the new R, and they had way more issues than what I had. But just seeing their heartache, and some of them had even bought second bikes to ride while the KTM was in the workshop, and I thought this sucks, man. I mean, it's such a shame, but because it's such a great bike, but the service was naff.
Yeah, it's a shame, and it is still what lets them down. Cheers for that, Motor MA77. Next one, helmet inspection. Martin, how you doing? Looking forward to this one, Brucey. A couple of questions for the both of you. Question 1, I ride in the north of Scotland where the fear of hitting wildlife is real. Have you ever come across a big growler? Well, there's the occasional evening in Glasgow, yeah.
Depends what you mean. Oh, dear.
John,
no,
ever had any big growler interactions?
Hating animals? No.
Right, okay. Is that all we're discussing on that topic?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. Why do the roads department always place manhole covers in corners? Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they do that on purpose. It's always on the riding line. Why?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know how it's in the UK, but most of them here, they're sort of the manhole covers are tarmacked in, on the manhole cover, so it's not a shiny metal.
Not in the UK.
No, it's slippy
metal
shit.
Gets wet. It's like ice. Yeah.
Okay,
and it's right at the point where you're going to be leant over.
No, you don't. Always. You don't get that here. It's sort of tarmacked, so it's still grippy.
Yeah, we get it. Germany do it better. We all know, Shaun.
Just saying.
Except for wars, that's all we're going to say. Right. Martin also says, Bruce, give me a shout if you'd like some Rowies and Tatty and Me pies for the show. Absolutely, man. Oh, God, yes, please. Send them down. I'll be eternally grateful. I'd say some delicacies back home. Rowies, butteries, they're awesome. Next one, false neutral one. How you doing, David? Hi guys. Anyone drunk yet? I wouldn't operate heavy machinery at the moment, I've got to say. How many have you had? You must have had about
are you even
12 beers.
Are you even drinking?
Mate, I'm on my 4th. That's loads for me in a podcast.
Give over. I never saw that once. I thought that was the first one.
Hang on. Look. Oh, where is it?
Oh, there you go. 3 then.
Yeah, I'm on my 4th. Look, there's one here.
Didn't you just say 5?
I've only got 4. I've only got 4, and then I've got a thing of Ribena to help me going after.
I think I've had 5, I think.
Jesus. Anyway, right. False neutral. Hi, guys. Anyone drunk yet? Yes. I have a few questions for Shaun. How did you become a PDR technician? How long does it take to learn the craft? What's the type of car that's an absolute nightmare to work on? And at last but not least, is it at all applicable to bikes?
Oh, good question. I got into it when I left the military. I'm actually a network technician, or I did what do you call it? An apprenticeship. Is it apprenticeship? Is that a word? There is a word. So I'm a network technician by trade, but I was struggling to find work because I'd already built a house where I live now. I'd have had to have moved to like a major city like Frankfurt, Dusseldorf and whatnot because I couldn't speak German at the time. And my ex-wife at the time, she worked for an Opel dealership, and there was a Brit that did PDR work for them. And she said, well, maybe we can get you in touch with him just as a sort of
stopgap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got in touch with him. I ended up, getting a job with his place, and it was only going to be temporary, but I ended up, I don't know, how long have I been doing it now? 15 years now, nearly 14 years. So I ended up staying with it. So, it wasn't the intention, but that's what I had to. That's what I ended up with. But
so a PDR technician, for anyone not in the know, that's like a panel beater, isn't it? You pull dents out of.
Yeah, but it's
bodywork,
different.
Right?
Panel beating's slightly different because PDR work is paintless dent repair. So we repair cars without breaking the paint. Gotcha. And most of it is hail damage that I do that brings the sort of the coin in. So if your car's been hit by a hailstorm, so your car's completely covered in dents, you're talking 600 dents maybe. The car will get stripped.
What size of hails do you get over in Germany?
Oh, you can get like that.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Seriously?
Most of the time your car is then destroyed in your house too. But sort of towards sort of golf ball size hailstones, you can still fix a car with that.
Good God, that'd kill you.
Oh yeah, if you're outside, you can have a bad day.
Why do you live there?
Yeah, I mean, it's
because it's a very good way of making a living when people's cars get damaged.
Yeah, but where is not in the world where natural disasters or weather? Where is it not it's getting worse?
We don't get killed by hail in the UK.
Yeah, good.
We just get flooded a lot now.
Yeah, it's everything's becoming more extreme. But that's how I got into it. What was the other part of the question? The worst car to repair.
Yeah, what's the type of car that's an absolute nightmare to work on?
A BMW Mini. It's probably the worst car to fix.
Is it? Why is that? You said that very quickly. Why is that then? What's bad about that?
Just access. When you strip the car to the bare metal, just where you can get to on panels, and it's a disaster.
And he also says, is it at all applicable to bikes?
So BMW Mini is probably.
Gotcha. Sorry, mate. You froze there. I thought you'd stop talking, but I think you just froze.
Worst car for me to fix. It's gone down the cars again.
It's really annoying, isn't it?
Oh, I did freeze. Oh yeah. Am I now? Am I back?
Yeah, you're there. You're there, mate. You're there. It's caught up.
What was the other part of the question?
Is it at all applicable to bikes?
Yeah, I get asked all the time for bike tanks, but it's pretty much unfixable. Most of the time when people drop the bikes, tanks get dented, the brake lever or clutch lever smashes into the tank, or the tank hits the floor. And tanks, the metal on is so thick that you can't fix it without breaking the paint. Most of the time you can't even get anywhere in access to to work on the dent. So most of the time, 90% of the time, tanks can't be sort of fixed.
Buy a new one. Just get a new one. Just get a new bike. Just get a new bike, Dave.
Most of the time you get a lot of questions from sort of old timers. You know, the original paint, they don't want to have it repainted, but there's a dent in the tank, and you know, you can do it. There's a technique you can use from the outside where we use hot glue, and takes a lot longer, but you can sort of pull dents out. But most of the time, if it's old, you rip the paint off anyway, because you really have to sort of, you know, give it a yank. And a lot of old paint won't put up with it. So
fair enough. Let's buy a new bike, David. Just get a new bike. Carpin Matt, brilliant. This guy is always a laugh to listen to on the pod. You got a fan there. Question: you're a superhero and you need an animal sidekick. Would you rather have a squirrel or a sloth? Squirrel. It's got to be a squirrel. You hate all this, don't you? I love this stuff. You hate it. Squirrel. I'm a squirrel.
Why would you want a sloth?
I know, yeah. A sloth is going to be your worst wingman ever if you're a superhero. Yeah. If you're going in to fight crime and fight evil, you don't want a sloth.
No.
What's it going to do?
Definitely squirrel. I'm glad that was multi-choice. If I'd have to come up with that myself, I'd have struggled.
No, Ken. That leads me on to my question then.
Oh, no.
Okay. If the choice is open to anything at all, what's going to be your favourite? What's going to be your first pick as an animal sidekick?
Fuck off, man. I haven't got the mindset to even think about that question.
You're not drunk enough. I don't think beer down you.
I don't think I ever would be. To think, why would you even consider that? Why would you even sit there and think, oh, if I ever had a sidekick and it was an animal, what?
You never have discussions like this with your mates.
No,
just like totally random things. Do you not?
No,
I do all the time.
No, we just get pissed and talk nonsense, but we don't.
Yeah, but that's when this sort of stuff comes up.
Yeah, but no, I would never sit there and go, oh yeah, if I had a sidekick, and it was going to be an animal. It'd have to be a giraffe.
If you couldn't have fingers on your hand, would you rather have a spanner or a dildo? Do you never have conversations like that?
No. But I'd probably have a spanner though. That's pretty easy though.
So, animal. Yeah, it's the German in them. It's the German in them.
I don't know. I can't answer that sort of stuff. Sorry.
God, what would I have? Well, you don't want something like a goldfish, do you? Or like a fish, because you're limited then, because you can only really use them in water. I think like an eagle. That would be cool.
If you say something wanky, like a lion or something.
Yeah, but an eagle can fly.
Oh, God.
Can't it?
Yeah, it can.
It can foxtrot Oscar into the distance and warn you about stuff coming your way, can't it? You know, a lion, yeah, it's good, but it's only good once they're there. They're right in front of you and you've got to fight. The eagle can tell you they're coming and how many are coming and stuff. If it's a big eagle, it can pick you up and take you. You've frozen. Have you frozen or have you just gone to sleep out of boredom? Oh, you're spinning again.
No, I'm glad my internet crapped its pants while you were talking.
He's back. I think we've ascertained.
Next question.
These aren't Shaun's type of cup of tea, are they, these questions? So send more. Ducati Richie, when is he going to ditch the old man BMW and get back to the youthful, sporty life of a KTM?
Oh, I don't think I will.
When they sort out the customer service, to be honest, I'd go KTM. I think for a change, if they sorted that out. But
I don't even think they're interested in. I mean, how long have people been whinging about KTMs? It's not just been me, or it's been many years. Although the bikes have been, maybe the last 2-3 years, maybe the bikes have been, really pucker. They've really sort of upped their game with the bikes, but their service is dire, and I get the feeling not even really asked.
KTM UK is very conscious of it, but their hands are kind of tied because it does seem like KTM main office that isn't a priority. which
it's
is
a shame. It is a shame.
Yeah. I think they've tried to address it because they've like Ducati has, they've increased the service intervals, as in the mileage or the kilometers that you do in between servicing is way higher than the BMW, isn't it? Like the BMW, even on the GS, it's every 6,000, whereas
it's not due to engine size. Or on the GS is 6,000 miles.
Yeah. GS is every 6,000 miles as a service. Whereas something like the Ducati, it's every 18,000 miles, I think, on the Multistrada. Certainly old 1260. I think it's either every 12 or every 18. It's massive service interval.
I think the GS is a lot easier to service as well, with the cylinder heads being on the side. Yeah. You don't have to take any tanks off, and the labour that's involved in it is slightly less. But
it's nearly 100-year-old engine, isn't it? The Boxer is nearly 100 years old, I think. So
yeah. Yeah, it's a shame, but I don't know. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm back to BMs, and I'm happy.
I do know. I will say this though. I do know quite a few people now who have KTMs and have had no issues at all, and they're very lucky in that they have good.
I'm glad
KTM deal. Me too, because it's by far the better bike. It's by far the better bike to ride. So I think if you get a good one and you've got a good, reliable dealership near you, which will do the servicing, then I would say get the KTM, because it's fantastic. And they're all fantastic.
It should be promoted. The people that do find a good dealer that helps them out and provides a good service, that should be put out there. But unfortunately, I didn't have that. Well, I don't know. Maybe I was a bit hard on the dealership. The people there they were friendly enough. Not all the time, perhaps, but
it's things like courtesy bikes. You said your bike had to go back for some warranty work, and they were talking about 8 weeks that you wouldn't have a bike. Well, BMW, it's just there's a courtesy bike, and we'll give you a call when yours is ready. And
I had on my previous XR when the cams failed. After 4,000 kilometers, the bike was in the shop for weeks. But
he's frozen again. You're frozen, mate.
I got courtesy bikes. Okay, I had to bring in that bike back because we got a customer that's interested. But we'll give you that. I was making vids on other bikes, so it was fine. Yeah.
Well, that's it. I've always said this, that if you ride a bike, like if you're out riding a bike a lot, you're going to have issues. Chances are you'll have issues. And it's just how those issues are dealt with, isn't it? By the dealership, by the garage. Yeah. So, I'm happy that, I accept a bike will have a problem occasionally, but just deal with it. Deal with it and make sure that I'm looked after. Not because I've got a YouTube channel, but because I'm a customer. I'm giving you my money, so look after me. Make sure I'm okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Right, Tommy Monaghan, 50. Gents, taking Rucka out of the equation as your both sponsored suits. Oh, I'm not. Are you sponsored by Rucka? Are you?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You lucky fucker. How did you get that?
I just asked.
I've had nothing from Rucka. I spent £2,000 of my own money on my Rucka suit. I've had no contact with Rucka at all.
Okay.
What would be the best quality textile suit the two of you have had in Rucka, hands down, in the last few years, and what did you like about them that they stand out the best in your opinion? I'll tell you right now, that's £2,000 of my own money, and it's the best £2,000 I've ever spent. I've never tried Klein, and I hear from people that have Klein that they're fantastic. I've heard that, what's the other? Is it a Danish one? There's another Scandinavian-y type.
What do you mean? What they called? Yeah.
Can't remember the name of them. No. But I'm telling you, Rucka has the reputation it has because it's fucking good stuff. Genuinely, it's brilliant. It's the best suit I've ever worn. It's fantastic. Every Gore-Tex or textile suit I've ever worn has failed at some point in the rain. If you're out riding for 12 hours, 16 hours, 15 hours, whatever, if you're out riding in the rain, at some point the rain gets through. It just hasn't happened with Rucka so far. But,
I mean, I know he said disregarding Rucka. I mean, I've had 3 Rucka suits, and only the latest one that I've got now that got sponsored was the the Gore-Tex Pro suit, and it's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So, I mean, I've had suits from Revit, I've had suits from Venusi, all textile stuff. To an extent, they keep you dry, but eventually, if you you've got to have waterproofs on top of them for constant rain riding. For a shower, they possibly keep you dry, but this new one, the Gore-Tex Pro from Rooker is absolutely amazing. It's like you said. I mean, I don't even take waterproofs anymore. And you don't even lose temperature. That was a thing that I always had with even previous Rooker suits that I had, where the Gore-Tex liner was the inner jacket, or the inner trousers. So the outer shell would get sodden, and you'd cool down.
Yeah, you get cold, really cold.
You kind of feel the rain running down the inside of the outer layer, and it give you the feeling that you were wet, but you weren't.
Yes, right.
You'd stop and you'd feel yourself, and you'd be like, well, I'm...
Your internet's shafted again, Shaun. Hello? I think what he's saying, folks, is that with the old style Gore-Tex suits, the outer layer used to get sodden wet. So even though you weren't getting, the inner layer was waterproof, it's like laminated, so you wouldn't physically get wet, but the outside layer would, and that would get really cold when you're out riding, and it would give you this sensation of getting cold, but also
the outer shell
wet.
Got sodden.
Ah, there he is. No, he's broken again. But this new stuff, Gore-Tex Pro. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, what he's saying is exactly that. The new stuff, the Gore-Tex Pro, that is the stuff to spend your money on, because it's just awesome. I've worn it in -15 and I've been fine. I rode all the way from Maidstone to Swansea in Wales, and it was -15 in the morning, and I was fine. Right, you're back. Are you with us?
I left you briefly there.
You did, yeah. I was just basically saying what you were saying. I got the gist of it. That with the non-Gore-Tex Pro, the outer layer used to get sodden, and that would get cold and make you feel like you were wet. But with the Gore-Tex Pro, you don't get that.
Gore-Tex laminate is the way to go. If you can afford 100%. It, you enjoy the riding experience so much more. You can bin your waterproofs off. Waterproofs are the thing of the past with Gore-Tex laminate. So, totally. I mean, I've only ever used from Rooker, although he was saying, excluding Rooker, what's the best mark? I mean, there's a few other companies. Yeah, there's plenty of other people that provide Gore-Tex laminate. Although I think Andy had one from Booster, which was very much cheaper, but it still crept through on his. So again, like with any gear, you got to pay for you got to pay the money. Although it's a lot, but like with any gear, you pay for what you get. So it's 100%. It's worth the money.
I know people always want the deal. If there's a cheap option. Yeah, a lot of people go for the cheap option, but it won't ever live up to it. Won't on a similar comparison of usage. Of like if you ride for 7 days in the pissing rain, wearing like Rooker or Climb or I can't remember what the other blooming Scandinavian make is. I do apologise. And then if you take the cheaper option,
is it Red Horn?
It's not. That doesn't ring a bell.
Something Horn.
It begins with a D.
Is it not something Horn? I don't know. Might be.
A horn doesn't ring a bell with me, Shaun. Maybe it's just an age thing.
The horn.
Yeah, but I'll tell you now, because I have tried a lot of different Gore-Tex suits and textile suits. Nothing so far has lived up to the Rooker stuff. And I am not sponsored by him. If you're in the UK, go with Infinity Motorcycles. I went with them, 0% finance. I think I've taken it out over 3 years, and it cost me 70 odd quid a month.
You gone?
Gosh.
You still there?
Yes. Hi. Are you back?
I'm back. Yeah, I mean,
your internet is
awful. I mean, it was all right at the start, but it's dying. I mean, maybe everybody's watching streaming and whatnot in the house. I don't know, but
Shaun, tell him to get off. Tell him to read a book. Yeah, for God's sake.
Absolutely. But yeah, if I hadn't have been sponsored my Rooker suit, I'd have bought a Gore-Tex laminate suit. The money is definitely worth investing in.
How the flying fajita have you got sponsored?
If you've
Rooker?
Got the gear to
Oh, come on, Shaun. Come back to us. Come back to us, Shaun.
Ride and to travel, then God, it's dropped off again, hasn't it?
It has.
This is pump.
Mate, you need to get on the exercise bike.
I missed out for that.
You need to get pedaling.
You were just about to say, how the... And then you went left, and then you left.
I said, how the flying fajita have you got sponsored by Rucker? They won't even answer anyway. I sent them messages before I bought it. And
how the flying fuck? Again, you've gone like...
How the flying
fuck did I get sponsored by?
Yeah, how did you get the kit for nothing off a Rucker? Because they won't even answer any messages from me.
Well, I emailed them 2 years ago, got no reply. Emailed them last year, got a reply. And they were like, "Yeah, we're happy to ply you with gear." I mean, I had the heated vest, I had some winter, but I sent that back because I didn't like it. Have you seen that vest, Bruce?
No, I haven't. No,
costs €1,000. Yeah,
wear a jumper,
but it's heated and cooling. So there's like a compressor on the side of your hip. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a big plastic compressor poking out the bottom of your jacket.
I don't want that. No,
you can't then zip your trousers to your jacket, which was a disaster. Although it was really nice in the summer because it filled your jacket with cool air.
Open the zips.
Yeah. The temperature wasn't regulating like a lot of the stuff you can get on the market, with, different settings of heat. It was just hot or off. There was just too much going wrong for it. And to warrant €1,000 price tag was a bit...
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
So I said, and I did a review on it, and 100% of the comments were negative. 100%. Not one person went, "Oh, that's a cool thing." And I was like, "I'm sorry, but I can't. I mean, I gave an honest opinion, and all the negatives that I thought about it, I put in the video."
Yeah. I've just had...
But I said I can't continue to use that. It's just not a product that's... No, it's just not a product that I can use.
So I think sometimes you've got to sort of stand by your principles, don't you? Because, I get it all the time. Companies approach you to, do a review on this, or we'll give you that. And...
Yeah,
so I'm not a fucking billboard. I've never wanted to be a billboard. That's just not what I'm about. And I had it recently with this Case heated clothing stuff. I entered what I thought was a competition, and as it turns out, it wasn't. They were just dishing out kit to everybody, and just for people to create content as a marketing thing, and then they'd pick a couple of people to go away and do this Iceland trip.
What Richie's going on?
Yeah, Richie's won it. Yeah. And like once I got the kit and I saw everybody had it, I was just like, we're just all being used here for the sake of a bit of kit. And I sort of spat the dummy a bit and just thought, no, I'm not doing anything. That's it. I'm not. Forget it. I'm not getting involved with this.
Yeah.
So I've got the kit, and as it is, the heated jacket is amazing, and I will do a vid on the heated jacket. In fact, I'll do vids on all the stuff.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff there's no point in it. But the heated jacket is lovely. That's really good. I love that. But the other stuff, like the gloves, I'd rather have heated grips than heated gloves, to be perfectly honest. Like I wear summer gloves with heated grips.
Yeah, but that's something I would look into.
Fine. Oh, you froze. Are you there?
Oh, I did freeze, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I look into it. I mean, I was never really into heated stuff before I sort of got my hands on some of it, but it is definitely nice to have in the winter. But I'll look into getting something different, because I said to Rucker, I said, look, because they were so shocked when I gave them their feedback. Mm-hmm. They were shocked, and I said, well,
what did you say? You're frozen.
Oh. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can't see you. Yeah.
Yes. I said, watch the video and read the comments. There's hundreds of comments, and 100% of them are negative. And they were sort of shocked and, we can't understand it. I said, well, read them and look at what people are saying about it. And I said, but
yeah. What did you say, Shaun? What did you say? Oh no, he's gone again. Right, for the edit, watch my hand, delete this bit.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're there. Hi.
God, this is getting awful, isn't it?
Oh yeah. We've only got a couple more questions, mate. We're done. Okay, cool. Yeah. The other thing that I found with the heated kit was because I had the Rucker, because I got the Rucker Navala suit and it's got that padded jacket that you can wear underneath it. I didn't need warm kit. You know, it's got the padded trousers as well. So like I've worn that in -15 on a 4-hour ride, 4.5-hour ride into Wales.
And that's all you need.
And I was fine. You know, I had that, summer gloves and heated grips, and I was fine. Yeah, so it was like, do you need heated kit? But the heated vest is nice. It is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I would spend my own money on that. It
makes your life. Yeah, definitely. If the core, your core's warm, then you're sorted.
Yeah, definitely.
But €1,000 for a heated vest, Jesus Christ.
That's just ridiculous. Jeff Arnold, 3372. Has Shaun's daughter gone out for more rides with him?
No, not as yet, but only because I got the new bike sort of end of last season, where it was all getting a bit cold. And up until now, she hasn't been out because the weather hasn't been great, but she said to me last week we should go out for a ride. So my daughter will come out. All her gear still fits. So
excellent.
We'll be out.
Good. It's nice taking your kid out, isn't it? I mean, my boy's 24 now, but he still remembers when he used to come out on the back of the Jigsaw. So I might get him out on the back again. We'll see.
Yeah.
Last one on Instagram, Trisha the Triumph Speed Triple. Love these podcasts, lads. Definitely need to see you all at Toro, including Shopsy, Dickie, TMF, Andy Mancam, and Shaun. 2 questions. If you only had a budget of around $5,000, would you buy old worldies with tons of miles or new low CC bikes but cheaply made?
Ooh. Oh, I'd have to go oldie.
Would you?
Yeah, new cheap? No. A golden oldie for $5,000.
I mean, $5,000 is still a lot of money. You'll get a lot of bike for $5,000.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd get, but yeah, I'd definitely go golden oldie for that money than new and cheap.
I quite like the low CC bikes, so I've got to say I really do enjoy the little cheap 125cc Chinese bikes. I have great fun on them.
It depends what you want to do with it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then I literally have them for a week or two, wring the neck off them, and then there's no consequence for me.
Treat them bad, and then
I'll spank them around the UK or spank them on a trip to Wales or something, and then I give them back. I'm not having to then take it for a service and living with the aftermath of it. So maybe.
No, I definitely go golden oldie.
Yeah, I think probably, you're right. I think $5,000 is still a lot of money. You can get a lot of bike for that. I'd probably go older bike then. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Second question. What's your opinions on the possibility of governments cracking down on aftermarket parts, such as exhausts, etc.? What a way to cripple an industry, in my opinion. All the best. That's something that they proposed to do here in the UK. They were trying to bring in some legislation to stop all aftermarket parts on any vehicle.
Can you repeat all after what's your opinion on?
Yes, certainly. The question 2, what's your opinions on the possibility of governments cracking down on aftermarket parts such as exhausts, etc.? What a way to cripple an industry, in my opinion. Here in the UK, they recently tried to introduce an act which would make it illegal it proposed to make it illegal for any aftermarket parts at all to be added to any vehicle.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme, but
yeah. No,
to an extent, we've had that here for years. Aftermarket kit has to be properly documented. There's no Chinese knockoffs that you can add to your bike. It all has to be European type approved aftermarket parts, which
racist.
Yeah. It sounds grim, and to an extent it possibly is for you guys because nobody cares in the UK what you put on your bike. Yes, maybe MOT to an extent, but you can pretty much do what you want.
Yeah, you can.
Here, that's not the case. But to be honest, would I go as far as to say it's a good thing? Yes and no. Yes, because it's done properly. There's no dodginess going on. There's no, although everybody loves a full race system, it's just not a legal thing here. So you can't do it here. There's no way. Yes, you can slap one on and just hope you just don't ever get pulled over. But it's all like German efficiency. It's all done properly here. So it's.
Well, I mean, it's illegal here. A full race system is illegal here.
Of course, but nobody cares.
No, you're very rarely. The only time you're going to get anything is if you're involved in an accident and they deem it your fault. Then they'll go through your bike.
Because you've got a race gun.
No, but they would go through your bike and then go, right, well, your exhaust's illegal. I don't know what else. Your indicators aren't. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Like I said before, it's just the risk of doing it here is just not worth it because the police it. So it's just there's no point in doing it. But needless to say, you can do stuff to your bike. You can put aftermarket kit on your bike. It just has to be. Unfortunately, the kit that you put on your bike is the most expensive stuff because it's the legal stuff.
Yeah.
So there's no cheap and nasty. It's all done properly. So in that respect, I think it's a good thing because it's safer because nobody's putting levers, brake levers on from China for 10 quid that might snap.
Cheese.
Yeah, you buy brake and clutch levers here, minimum $200 for the pair, legal pair. So in that respect, it's safer. But I can understand for people that are living in the UK, it's probably harsh. It's probably something that people aren't used to, but it is definitely safer.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when this thing in the UK, when this came about, I think it was the start of this year or tail end of last year when it sort of hit the media, the bike media, that the government were proposing this. It was definitely, I think it was blown out of proportion because when the likes of, I think it was MAG, Motorcycle Action Group over here, they lobby on behalf of bikers in Parliament. They were like, well, it's actually directed at trying to future-proof the vehicle market for when self-driving cars come in. So like people can't buy electric or self-driving cars and then fiddle with them, adding aftermarket parts, which then could potentially have catastrophic consequences, So allegedly that's what it was to do with, because we haven't heard anything about it since.
But it'll never happen. It'll never happen in the next few years for sure for bikes. I mean, how
won't do it in the UK?
How can it?
There's whole industries would be crippled here in the UK.
Zero aftermarket parts. I mean, why not? If parts are tried and tested, why can't they be put on? If they're
and you'd never be able to enforce it.
No, it'll never happen. That nobody's got anything to worry about with that.
Yeah.
Things may become a bit more stricter, and you may have to, stricter as in from UK to Germany. We've had it for years, but it may be an issue for people in the UK. But things may become slightly more difficult to do. But I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think in the UK it's going to be noise. And it's going to be noise under the antisocial banner, and it's going to be speed. They're going to continue to reduce the speed limits on the UK roads. And I think they'll give more power. We have these community little action groups here in the UK. So if you go through a little village in the middle of nowhere, but it's on a nice biking route, the police give locals the power to sit there with radar guns and they measure your speed, and then as you go by they clock your registration, and then they send the details to the local constabulary, and then the local constabulary has the option to use that as evidence to prosecute you.
Okay.
Where it stands in a court of law, I have no idea, but you do get that over here now.
That'd suck if Joe Public can.
I don't understand how they can. Yeah, because the law is it needs an act of Parliament to change statute, the law, because it's a constable in uniform. That is what the law dictates with regards to speeding. A constable. However, having said that, how do speed vans work? Because they're civilians that are operating a speed van. I should know that, being an ex-copper, but it's a constable in uniform was the law. So maybe that obviously must have changed.
I think it will change for the UK drastically. I think that'll come.
I think it's coming.
You know, I mean, even as an example, I'm sure we spoke about it before, but 10 years ago, I removed my DB killer on a Honda CBF 600, and it cost me €280 in fine and 3 points on my license just for
really?
Just for removing the DB killer, because it's an intent. It's an intent to how would you word it in English? You've intentionally made your vehicle unroadworthy because a DB killer is a legal requirement. Because you've intentionally...
dare you? How very dare you?
And even the copper that asked me, because most people, you know, when they remove them, they've got them on their person. So he said, have you got your DB killers missing out exhaust? I said, yeah. And he said, have you got it with you? And I was like, I was only a young lad at the time. I was like, yes. And he said, okay, pop it back in your bike.
Yeah.
And we were chatting later on. I said, well, you know, what's going to happen with that? And he said, well, if you'd have said, I bought the bike like that, or it's flown out down the road, said I wouldn't have believed you. But because you've admittedly removed it and it's on your person, it carries the highest, what do you call it?
Penalty.
Yeah, penalty. Oh, shit. So if you'd have said you bought it like it flew out, it must have flown out, I had no idea. It would have been 1 point and like $80 fine or something. Because the intention of removing, or the intentionally making your vehicle unroadworthy carries the highest penalty.
So what did you get for that then?
Yeah, €280 and 3 points.
Oh.
For just removing the DP killer. But that, it will come. UK, you'll get that way.
Shaun, I was brought up that honesty is the best policy. Plainly not.
It wasn't in my case.
Jesus. Right, dude. We're done with Instagram questions. There is one over on Facebook. Are you all right if we go there? I know it's nearly 3 hours.
Let's fire that, do it.
Just before we go there, folks, last shout out from me. It's not a sponsor, but it's just a massive thanks to all of you who are watching or listening to the podcast, especially those of you over on Patreon who help support the main channel. Massive thanks from me. Couldn't do it without you. Everyone that gives a question, that submits a question, whether through Patreon, whether through Instagram, through Facebook, that's what makes this podcast the success it is. So thank you very much. If you're enjoying the podcast, if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave some sort of review or rating. That has a huge help if you can do that. Much appreciated. Right, across to Facebook. So that's just at TeapotOne. I've just seen my brother's name on there. Oh dear. First one, Trevor Neville. Given Shaun's great beer-fueled burps in previous podcasts, can he burp the alphabet?
Oh no, I'm terribly. Again, I've lost my English vocabulary. It's all sort of spontaneous eruptions, possibly, but I can't endurance burping.
Can you not burp on demand?
No.
Now, this is where my brother comes in, because my brother, me, used to burp the national anthem. I could burp any song, anyone, at any time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm not going to do it because I'll be sick. I've had a few beers. I'll probably end up being sick. But I can burp any time on command.
Well, unlike TMF, I can burp, but only when I've been drinking.
He was lying. He must have been lying. I don't get that.
I don't know. I don't know. You were sat there. Did he ever burp later on in the evening?
No. And like even Carol, his wife, was just like, well, no, he doesn't burp, but I don't understand how he can't not burp. Yeah. No,
it's only sort of drink fueled or whatever I'm drinking, even Coke or whatever. but I can't burp on demand, and definitely not for any length of time to burp.
Right then, Shaun, when we meet up in person, I'm going to burp you the alphabet, or I'll burp you the German national anthem.
We need to get that on camera. The German national anthem.
I don't even know what is that. Deutschland. That's the German national. Yeah. Right, we'll do that. Yeah. Right, dude. That's all the questions. I appreciate it. That's nearly 3 hours. Thank you. In fact, awesome. It is 3 hours. Thank you very much for putting up with that. I know some of the questions aren't your cup of tea. But,
pleasure.
Dude, do you want to give a shout out before we?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd just like to thank everybody over the years that's stuck around and watched the channel. For everybody that's sort of been a part of it, to be honest. I mean, especially to people over on Patreon that go a bit further and support the channel, it's definitely much appreciated. But for anybody that that isn't part of that or isn't part of the Patreon page or channel, just for every comment that everybody's sort of stuck around and enjoyed the content, I'm much appreciated to you all. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
And ditto, folks. It really does make a big impact on you, doesn't it? As a creator, if people watch, people comment, people like, it really does help to push you on and keep doing it. So massive thanks from me as well.
Absolutely, and obviously people that financially help support the channel. That's I'd never thought that it would have come to what it is now, but I mean, I'm going to keep doing it, so hopefully things improve, and hopefully I get to do more cool stuff. So, and it helps obviously no end for the people that do support financially. But we appreciate that it's not everybody's cup of tea, that sort of thing. Exactly. But for everybody that just watches, likes, comments, and leaves their feedback, we're all indebted to you.
Beautiful. Right, folks, if you're not yet following Shaun, I'll leave all his links for YouTube and all social media down below. So if you're listening to the podcast, check out the show notes. If you're watching the YouTube vid, make sure you look at the description and there'll be links there. Send him your love. Make sure you give him a little follow, a like, a subscribe, ding dong the bell. All right, dude, thank you very much for popping along. I will be in touch with you.
Always a pleasure.
About next year, and we should look at doing some sort of joint Patreon meetup over there. I think that could be a bit of a laugh.
Yeah,
right, we'll see if we can get that done. All right, folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Keep doing your thing. Keep telling everybody you know about the podcast. Spread the word for me. Let's get this growing. Look after those that you love. Getting out there whenever you can. Keep doing your thing. But most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha! Nice one, dude.